Like enjoying a fun weekend of Phillies baseball. That's all I got. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
This is Kincade and Salciunas.
You and I are on the same page. Wins are wins. Get wins, get to the top of your division, put yourself in a good spot so that you can, maybe if a guy gets hurt. So wins are at a premium to me. Wins are wins. I don't care who you're doing it against.
And we wake up today, the day after Memorial Day, so everybody check the standings. Oh, wow. The Phillies are the best team in baseball.
Kincade and Salciunas. John Kincade, Andrew Salciunas.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Yep.
And a good Monday morning, Philadelphia. Man, Salciunas alongside my man, John Kincade. Johnny, wins are important.
Yeah, they are.
Regardless of who you're playing. And the Phillies got none of them this weekend because they got swept by the Milwaukee Brewers.
May 28th, they woke up the best team in baseball. And in first place by 3 games. They wake up today in second place. Yes. And not the best team in baseball.
Yeah, they're now a game back at the Mets after getting swept by the Brewers. Obviously, they lost the final game of that series with the Braves. So 4 straight losses for the Fightins. I saw a tweet from Matt Gelb over the weekend. That's the first time the Phillies have lost 4 straight at Citizens Bank Park since 2022. You mentioned the stat just last week.
70-30.
70-30 in 100 games at home at Citizens Bank Park. And then right after you give that stat, they follow up with 4 straight losses at home for the first time since 2022. That's why baseball is a beautiful sport. That's
is that
why
beautiful?
Sports are. Oh, yeah, man, it is.
That's beautiful?
Yeah, exactly.
You and I have different opinions on beautiful.
So the people are upset this morning, rightfully so. After getting swept by a baseball team, you should never be happy. I don't have the same outrage as some of you, like the man to my left right now. And the text messages that you sent me.
Oh, yeah.
So John texted me yesterday. This was after they officially got swept by the Brewers.
After the sweep. The 4th loss in a row.
I felt like I was back in high school getting broken up with by a girl over text message explaining all the reasons why. All the reasons why I suck as an individual. And that's why we're breaking up. I'm just going to read the text message from John Kincade. And this is you and your words, but I think you're speaking for a lot of people.
Yeah, go for it.
So I'll just sit back, relax, enjoy. This was from John Kincade yesterday. Phillies versus Brewers weekend was a disaster on so many levels. No urgency displayed once again this year, like last year, over and over. Why was Harper not placed on the IL? They've played short for 5 straight games. It makes 0 sense. Why is Rob letting his Cy Young candidate pitcher eat it? Of course the defense blows a game on Sunday, and do not blame the ump. Get Weston Wilson, or as Bill Colarulo says, Dub-Dub, off this team. Why was Clemens exiled? Turner is a butcher again. I felt like I was getting broken up with. Man, you're lazy. You always want to go out with your boys. You never want to hang out with me. That's what I felt like was happening yesterday when I'm reading your text message.
Well, was that first of all, any lies detected?
No lies detected.
Cody Clemens, better Major League Baseball player than Weston Wilson?
Yeah.
Every day of the week.
Yeah, but remember,
I'm not a general manager.
But John, remember, guys like Connor told us that was the right-handed pop bat.
Yeah,
and
sure
Bill,
was.
There are people. Look,
Dub.
I don't want to rip our guys, but Connor.
Why not? They're more fun.
Connor and Bill, I'll rip them because I don't want to rip a lot of the Phillies fans that believe that certain players are better than what they actually are.
Weston Wilson is a quad A player. I've argued with him for Connor forever.
And it was a great story last year. The home run in his first game.
There's a reason you're in the minor leagues till you're 30.
Yeah. Oh,
there's a reason.
He's the pop bat that they're looking for.
There's a reason you are.
Heck out of here.
Cody Clemens is a better Major League Baseball player. And by the way, Cody Clemens is a marginal Major League Baseball player.
Yeah. There's a reason why he wasn't playing much here either.
But for some reason, the Phillies organization said, nah. We good. We don't need Cody Clemens.
Oh, there's one reason why. One guy bats left-handed, one guy's bat right-handed.
Well,
seriously, that's what it is.
No, it's what they're saying. And this guy cannot play in the field.
Yeah.
He is terrible. Did you watch him yesterday?
He's horrible.
He tracks a ball like a little leaguer.
Yeah,
he doesn't know where he's going. More importantly, though, here's a situation for you. Why in the world did you play 5 baseball games? 5 shorthanded. Why in the world are you playing shorthanded baseball for 5 straight games? By the way, no team in Major League Baseball has played 5 games shorthanded this year with one guy left on their roster. Not one. But you know who did? The Philadelphia Phillies. You know why? Because it's Bryce Harper. Because Bryce didn't want to go on the disabled list or the injured list. I'm sorry. Don't want to offend anybody. Because Bryce, I'll be fine. I'm okay. Don't put me on the IL. So you're going to play shorthanded for a freaking week in a homestand. And you're going to pee away a divisional lead and the best record in baseball doing that. Again, stupid. No urgency. We're okay. We got a lead. We got a big lead. What are we worried about? We don't care. So this organization has no urgency. What are we going to let Luzardo eat it? Yeah, let's let him eat it.
Yeah, you know what, John? That's okay. We'll get into it.
There's no urgency.
We're going to get into the Luzardo thing later in the show. Totally fine with it, man. Totally fine with it. But the Harper thing, like,
do you think he is?
Who, Luzardo?
You think he is? Because I honestly, I mean, with all due respect, I don't care if you are. I don't care if Bill in Section 212 is. Is Luzardo okay with it? Because this is how problems created in a clubhouse. No. This is how players in Major League Baseball talk about an organization.
Somebody's got to do it after you played as many games this week. You had a doubleheader just the other day. Like you needed somebody.
And you know what you could have done?
You needed somebody to
Andrew, you know what you could have done?
Call up
you could
another
have brought up a minor league player if Bryce Harper had actually gone on the injured list.
Yeah, but we also
had a body to do
don't know if the body would have been a reliever. The body could have been another position player if you lost the position player.
But you could have. You could have had a call from Lehigh Valley.
Yeah,
it is an hour and a half drive, Andrew.
Yeah, but we don't know who it would have been. It could have been a position player.
But it's an hour and a half drive.
I don't think they're.
You could have made that call.
I don't think they're expecting the Brewers to score 17 runs in a baseball game.
You could have made the call.
When? During the game?
No, you could have made the call and gone, hey, our pitchers are a little bit taxed after the Braves series. We're going to carry an extra pitcher for the day.
And then they go, you know what? We rely on Jesus Luzardo. We believe he's going to be able to go deep in a ball game against a Brewers team, and that didn't happen.
Fans don't care about these things. Players do. Players talk. Major League Baseball players chatter. It tells you how an organization carries things.
I think you are reading way too much into this about the Luzardo ERA and statistics. And it's funny. I want to save this for a little bit,
Good.
but
no, you don't have to. No, save it then.
Okay,
save it then so we can get into it.
Because I have a lot to say about Philadelphia sports. I have a lot to say about what happened on Saturday, and obviously the outrage that surrounded it. But look, our question today, 610-632-0975. I read the text message from John, and again, I think you're speaking for a lot of people. I don't believe you're doubting this team, but you're pointing out things that
I'm not
concern you. I think a lot of people doubt this team. Now, I don't want to speak for people, but, we all read social media. We talk to people.
I think some people do doubt.
We get emails. I have an updated email from my man Joe G that I'll get to later on.
I think he sent me one over the weekend also.
We have so much information from a lot of you because of what we do. We see your tweets. We see your text messages, your calls, you name it. And I think a lot of people doubt this team. And I think it's an unhealthy amount of doubt. I really do. Because the Phillies can win 9 of 10, and it's crickets. And then the second they lose a baseball game, people are outraged. And I know this weekend sucked. Do you think I had fun watching this game? I was down the shore with my buddies.
I hope you did.
Friday night, we sat down, projector screen outside. We just wanted to lock into a baseball game. And it was boring because the Phillies had no life. And then the next day, we get off the beach because the rain started coming. So let's get to the house and watch the Phillies game. I went out, started the grill. It was 3-0. Then all of a sudden, I went back in after grilling. It was 17-1 or whatever the hell the score was. It sucked. I get it. But there is an unhealthy amount of doubt surrounding this baseball team.
Who's creating that doubt?
I think a lot of people.
Social media?
Yes, I think a lot of people in their own heads.
Is it social media or is it the Phillies' listless attitude?
The Phillies weren't great. Last week, everybody loves the Phillies. This weekend, everybody hates them.
When the Phillies were playing the Rockies, everyone loved it. But the thing is, it's the ideas, Andrew. Everything can be looked at as it's an individual. These last four games was an absolutely listless performance. Lifeless.
Yeah, but do you think that is enough for the swing of emotions that we've seen from a lot of people? Again, I'm not speaking for you.
I think
even though you were very emotional.
I think it absolutely says to people, I've seen this movie before. I'm afraid of the ending.
Yeah, but from
and it's up to the Phillies.
From in May and June?
Look, it's up to the Phillies to change that. I understand.
But if okay, let's say the next it continues for another week or two. Yes, let's talk about it.
I get how you and I react, but I understand how other people react, and I can tell you what I saw this weekend. I can understand where a lot of those people are coming from because it's just baseball, and here we are.
See, you're doing the topper voice.
And that's what it is.
That's what it is. At 6:25, we're going to have a conversation about topper. We're almost going to revisit something we had last week. All right? But that comes in 15 minutes. Coming up next.
I'm looking forward to it, Pooh.
I want to go to the other tweet that I saw a bunch of times yesterday. I just wonder how much stock people are actually putting into this. We'll get into it. It's going to be a fun, well, maybe not fun.
Christopher Robin.
It's going to be a fired-up Phillies day here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Philadelphia Union Soccer.
They play short here.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready.
way the earth works, John. I tease a tweet, and then I get the tweet.
Who was it?
Well,
Is it our boy Joe the Cynic up early?
No, this is from...
he usually gets up early.
This is from Go Birds.
What's up, Go Birds?
Sportsdad 215. I want to do that specifically because I think there's a billion Go Birds accounts out there.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, exactly.
So Sportsdad 215. And it's funny. I didn't even see this tweet specifically. It's just a tweet that I saw over the weekend a million times. And it's just amazing how the world works. And this guy sends it in. And I asked the question, why is there so much doubt around this Phillies team? And I know there's levels to the conversation, right? It could be past experiences.
Sure.
This past playoffs. Look, I have lineup concerns, right? You know how I feel about the lineup, and I think Dave Dombrowski better get off his rear end this trade deadline and not make the mistakes he made last year.
Are you a believer after the last 2 years trade deadlines that he's going to?
Man, if he watched this weekend, he better.
No. Are you a believer after the last 2 trade deadlines that he's all of a sudden going to be bold and aggressive? That's
no.
not see,
not necessarily.
See, this is where these people are coming from.
And that's concerning. Yeah, it's concerning.
Exactly.
But I saw this tweet, and I'm curious how much stock people put into this. Our open that was playing was, look, wins are wins, no matter who you're playing against.
Let's get Matt Menard on that, would you there, Connor?
Keep on building up your win total. So Go Birds, Sportstat 215 checks in. He tweeted at you.
Oh.
Tell Andrew that the Phillies are 13-15 versus winning teams this year. The doubt most of us had started when they ran it back again. Now we're seeing it unfold slowly. I saw the 13-15 record tweeted out.
I saw it a ton
at
yesterday.
least 100 times yesterday.
So did I.
How much stock do you put into that? Because I've seen them, lose series against winning teams, and I understand that sucks. But then what about the teams that they did win that have plus 500 records?
Cubs series at Chicago.
Dodgers
series at home.
Like, those are teams that...
You can't forget that those are the 2 best teams in the National League.
Right.
That you can't leave that out of the discussion.
Like, they got swept by the Mets, right? That sucked. And I understand that sucked.
Because that's the team you're going to have to beat in the division.
But you can't look at that Mets series and go, but ignore the whole Dodgers thing and ignore the Cubs thing. Because those are good teams that you also beat this year.
No, but what I think you can see is, and I think what a lot of the people do see, is that, I'm telling you, is that one thing I'll give, and there are a lot of great things. Again, there are a lot of great things that Rob Thomson does in his job. Mm-hmm. I am very critical of a lot of things with Rob Thomson. But flat out, I'll also say there's a lot of things that just drive me nuts. And for other people, they're not a big deal, and that's cool. Everybody can judge him their own way. To me, his just lethargy, to me, drives me absolutely nuts as a person. I'm not that way. Nick Sirianni's over-exuberance at times can drive me crazy because I think he loses his mind. I think there's a balance between the two. Those 2 guys are on the opposite ends of the spectrum. And I think that just gets, I think a lot of people there's no urgency with the Phillies. There was no urgency in the offseason. There's no urgency in season. Everything's okay. We're okay. No big deal. It's just baseball. This is what happens. I think that's where a lot of people are at today. They're just frustrated. They're frustrated.
And look, if you want to
be this past weekend,
I'm frustrated from this weekend.
You could hear it
Don't get me wrong.
You could hear it on the broadcast.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's very unpopular. I'm going to need Mike Schmidt to watch more games. That broadcast yesterday, I'm going to need him to watch more games when he's not broadcasting. I know he's a legend, but he's saying stuff on the broadcast yesterday that it's like he didn't watch the games from earlier in the week.
I say this all the time. I love
He's a freaking legend.
The storytelling is why he's in the booth. His analysis is not necessarily why he's in the booth.
Yeah, but he has to, if he's doing analysis on this year's team.
Right, he's got to,
he has to be watching games.
But I think that's what they first brought him in for, and it wasn't working. So then they told him, hey, tell more stories. And then you have a bad series, and so you want to hear something from him, and you're right. He's not paying attention.
He's not paying, there's no attention to,
He's probably about to tee off in about half an hour.
Well, the past week's games, obviously, he didn't watch. It's unbelievable.
All right, coming up next, let's get into this Luzardo discussion.
Sure, that'll be popular.
And Rob Thomson. I mentioned that there's a lot of people that have a lot of unhealthy amount of doubt with this Phillies team. I think there's a lot of you that have an unhealthy relationship with Rob Thomson.
Well, Pooh.
We'll try to get through this next because I just don't feel the same energy.
What energy?
No, I'm saying
energy?
Well, no, your energy.
There's no freaking energy.
It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A weekend to forget for the Phils. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies wrapped up their series with the Milwaukee Brewers yesterday with a 5-2 loss, which completed the sweep for the Brewers. A costly error by Trey Turner in the 7th inning ultimately did the Phillies in. In the series, the Phils were outscored 28-11 in the 3 games. Luckily for us all, that series is now over with. The Phils have a day off today before heading up to Toronto to begin a series with the Blue Jays tomorrow. Zach Wheeler is going to be on the mound for that one. The Eagles once again will be on the practice field for OTAs this week before mandatory minicamp opens up next Tuesday, June 10th. We'll continue to keep you updated on all things Birds this week as it progresses. And over the weekend, we found out the matchup for the NBA Finals as the Indiana Pacers eliminated the New York Knicks on Saturday. The Pacers are going to travel up to Oklahoma City, or down to Oklahoma City, I should say, to take on the Thunder for Game 1 this coming Thursday, which will be broadcasted live right here on The Fanatic. This update was brought to you by Groundworks, your expert for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection today at groundworks.com. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the NBA Finals, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Ricky Batalico.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
25 on Kincade Salciunas 97.5. In fact, I don't think I even needed. I didn't even need coffee for this show today. You're the you're the caffeine I need, John.
Oh, that's
Because I'm trying to keep up with the same energy as you, and I'm trying.
you're doing
trying.
well. You're doing well. You had a big weekend.
Yes, I did. I had a lot of fun this
You had
weekend.
a big weekend. I took like two major hikes this week.
Did you? That's
Yeah, I
good.
looked and I just saw on the Fitbit thing.
Yeah.
I saw 17 miles this weekend.
That's good work by you.
Like between
I drank
all,
17
that's
beers on
between
Saturday.
all movement. That's between all movement. Met a lot of our younger listeners at my godson Andrew Amicone's reception on
Love
Saturday.
that. Congratulations
A lot
to
of
the
a lot of younger listeners were there, so it was great. Now their dads, not many of them listening. I'm like, well, you're old, so you're washed.
We appreciate it.
Great,
Our
all the
listeners
younger
of all
listeners,
ages.
the younger
John.
listeners, they were there. It was great. It's nice to
Beautiful.
see the dudes.
All right, so a lot of you, especially you, John, have an unhealthy relationship with Rob Thomson.
Is it unhealthy or is it honest?
Yeah, I think it's an unhealthy.
I think it's honest.
I think it's an unhealthy.
I think it's honest when you acknowledge the pros and the cons of anyone, and you're honest about it, and you praise them when they're what they're good at, and you critique them what they're bad at.
Yeah, but I don't think you know what you want from them.
No, I do.
Oh, but here's what I'm getting at. So the Luzardo thing, right? Mm-hmm. So Jesus Luzardo got shelled on Saturday.
Totally shelled.
It was horrible.
Okay.
And I'd never seen anything like it.
It's terrible.
Out of a great pitcher, right? And he's a very good pitcher.
It was as bad as it's the worst outing of his career.
3 1/3, 12 hits, 3 walks, 2 home runs, 12 earned runs. 2 of those home runs, both Rhys Hoskins bombs. He had 6 RBI in that game. And he goes 3 1/3. Now, you're upset that they tried getting him to eat innings.
Uh-huh.
Look, I know people don't like this guy all that much, but that is what Aaron Nola does. And a lot of the times people get upset that he's been in the game too long, 4 or 5 innings or 4 or 5 earned runs, but he gives you 6, 7 innings, which is something that over a course of a season is important, right?
Sure.
We know
It absolutely is.
bullpen arms, especially this bullpen where your best guy is gone because of PEDs. So you're trying to eat as many innings as you possibly can. I have no problem with the Phillies trying to get Jesus Luzardo to eat a couple innings on Saturday because of what happened over the course of the week. A lot of games, obviously the doubleheader against the Braves, so I was totally fine with it.
The doubleheader was where, that's a good point. I'm glad you're bringing that up because the doubleheader is where this all begins, this discussion begins.
Right. And so Rob Thomson, they don't pull Luzardo. My question for you, my honest question is, when did you want him to pull Luzardo? By the way, he got ejected, right? So he got ejected when it was 5-0. Did you want it to be then?
No, I wouldn't have gone 5.
So then when did you, because he was ejected. So when did you want him to do it?
Right, pretty much right after that.
Right, but he couldn't do it. He was out, he was gone. Rob, I'm sure there's some way they could communicate.
You know that he's right up the ramp, right?
I'm sure there's some way that they
know
can
that he's
communicate.
still. You know that he's still managing that game, right?
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah,
there's
he
some
is.
way that they
There's
can
not.
communicate.
He's still managing
I know.
that.
That's why I
and you
keep
know
on
somebody
saying
is
that.
still managing that game.
Yes.
And so that's a moot point. There's somebody's managing that game, and they're managing it by his specifications.
So, yeah, in
because
one way
he's
or
yelling.
another.
Usually, he's yelling up.
Right.
So,
up
or
the ramp.
somebody
because
is,
there's a TV in the clubhouse.
or somebody is coming down telling them what to do.
There's some way to communicate. Correct.
And but what I would do is you do not let your Cy Young candidate, your best pitcher this year, even though we know Zach Wheeler is your staff ace and everything like that, your best pitcher this year has been Jesus Luzardo, and you let him eat it like that.
All right.
Yes, and the reason you had to is because of the fact that General Manager Bryce Harper did not go to the injured list for 10 days.
I don't know if that is the only reason why.
You had a doubleheader, and they knew they were short, and he said it before the Milwaukee series. Before the series, Rob Thomson, before it began, well, we know we're going to be a little short in pitching. If we really taxed the bullpen and with doubleheader and everything, he admitted it going into it. But they didn't have the ability to just go, hey, 100 miles up the road, not even 100 miles up the road. We could bring any tomato can we want down here to come in and eat those innings if we needed in an emergency. Because we didn't bring down an extra arm to be able to help us when we're pitching short because of the fact that Bryce Harper did not go on the injured list. So they admitted it as a potential problem, and then the problem came and bit them in the ass, and it ended up hurting Jesus Luzardo, a guy who has totally been helping to carry you all year long.
All right, so I'm not trying to do any gotcha
That's all right.
moments here,
Go on.
but I take exception with the Luzardo stuff that you're saying.
All right, go on.
Because you don't care about individual things.
No, I'm not
don't.
I'm not a big individual
right?
thing.
Joel,
But you know who
Joel
does?
Embiid,
No,
MVPs.
No, does nothing for like the Joel Embiid MVP season is not going to say to me, wow, guys, you know what? Sixers did nothing again. They flamed out. But, man, wasn't that MVP season great? No, it wasn't.
Right.
The team didn't do it.
But what I'm trying to get is, like, I remember the year after when he was averaging, like, 30 points per game. Remember he had that streak going.
Absolutely.
And there was a game where they were getting blown out, and yet he was still out there because he was trying to get to 30 points.
A guy who doesn't play when he's totally healthy.
I know.
So there's a reason
But they
why.
were trying to let him get to his 30-point mark because maybe that's good for him and good for the psyche
It was
of
a
the
Knicks
team.
game. They were getting crushed by like 30.
I was there. It was horrible.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah.
Friday night. I remember it was a Friday night.
I took my buddies. It was on my dime. I was like, let's go out. Let's go to
there you
and
go.
it sucked. So I you have a problem.
No, but I'm not speaking for what I want. I'm speaking for Jesus Luzardo. I know what players want.
Okay,
and
but
by the way,
you have to balance for the team, right? So the Sixers probably should not have allowed Joel Embiid to play all those minutes, but because maybe he wanted something, they let him play. Luzardo probably should have eaten the innings because you need that from your starting pitchers. 3 1/3 is not going to cut it for you, so you try to get him to pitch it, but now you're upset that maybe he could be upset that his ERA went up.
Or
maybe he shouldn't have just sucked that day.
Or, better yet, you don't let a player dictate whether they go to the IL or not.
No, we're not even talking about the Bryce Harper thing. I'm talking about Luzardo.
No, because it plays into it. Because you were playing shorthanded for 5 games, which no team in Major League Baseball has done this season.
You also don't know if they were going to call up a position player or a pitcher. We don't know that.
No, we do know because they said they admitted in pre-scrum, they admitted they were shorthanded in pitching. Because of what they were coming off of with the Braves series. So, yes, I do know. They admitted it.
I think anybody's shorthanded when you're coming off of a doubleheader.
I understand, but they could have not been shorthanded, Andrew, if you don't let your general manager, first baseman, dictate whether he's going to the IL or not.
Now, here's the thing.
And by the way, he still isn't back.
Well, so that's the thing. If he goes on, like I saw a lot of people putting out a tweet yesterday saying, you know what's going to really suck when they announce that Bryce Harper goes on the IL on Monday. If that happens, then this is all egregious.
No, this is all egregious to begin with. No team has done this.
What if he was available to pinch hit or something? There was just no game that was necessary.
They're playing shorthanded for 5 games. You don't do that.
All right, so you don't do this. So that's not a Rob Thomson thing, right?
But it all compounds into that.
That's Dave Dombrowski. That's allowing Bryce Harper to do whatever he wants.
Whoever made that decision.
Right.
And I would imagine that I would imagine it's Rob and Dave Dombrowski that are involved in making that decision. Idea is, I understand is no, to me, individual words don't mean anything to me. But I can tell you this. Go back to MLB Network, ESPN, go back to Ricky Pitalico. Ask them what about letting Luzardo eat it that long. And Major League Baseball players will tell you, Andrew, it matters to the player. And by the way, then that matters.
If Luzardo
into a clubhouse.
I'm sorry. If Luzardo is sitting in the clubhouse after that game, not saying, damn, I pitched well, and instead saying, man, I can't believe Rob Thomson made my ERA go up.
He's saying he knows he sucked.
Yeah.
There are days when you suck, but you know what your manager does? What do they usually do? They usually cover for you. They usually have your back.
He covers for people all the time on the microphone.
Not on a microphone. They usually
And then he
cover
finally got
for you.
ejected. Are you happy that he
Oh, that's
finally
great.
got ejected?
I'm just glad to see he was awake.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what
know
do you
what's
want
great
from him?
is-
He got ejected. Now people are upset that he got ejected.
The
Like,
coroner-
what do you guys want from Topper?
The coroner of the city of Philadelphia was great. It was great. They were there, and they declared that he is alive.
I have no relation with Rob Thomson. None, right?
Right.
I've talked to him a handful of times, right? Doing spring training stuff, right? But, like, when I see some of the outrage over him, I just don't get that energy. The stuff,
fine.
like, there's times where I've been upset with him, right? The JT Realmuto not getting ejected that day. I'm still kind of surprised by the lack of retaliation against the Braves, even though he said the guys in the clubhouse don't think it was on purpose.
An injury now that has really hurt your franchise.
Look, I totally understand. But, like, this weekend, and I had no problem with Rob Thomson this weekend.
Okay, that's good.
He needed the guy to eat innings.
Okay.
If they've had a lot of innings in recent days.
They have, and it's amazing. They might have had an extra pitcher that could have just had some minor leaguer up here that could have taken it.
That might be somebody else's fault. I don't think you could be blaming Rob Thomson for that.
A manager usually does get involved in that process.
I'm sure they do. Yeah.
And has a vote. But sometimes the general manager, first baseman overrules them.
Well, and it seemed like the general manager overruled him a couple times this week.
Yeah.
Like Jose Ruiz.
Yeah, sounds like
despite Rob Thomson loving him the other day.
Sounds like it.
All right, coming up next, we'll check our text line for the first time this morning. You know, why is there so much doubt surrounding the Phillies? Your reaction to Rob Thomson having Luzardo pitch. Your reaction to Rob Thomson. I've told you, not a fun, but a fiery Phillies day on this Monday morning. Also, an update from one of our great listeners who lives and dies by every pitch of the Phillies season, our man Joe G.
Joe G.
An update from his emails chain coming up next. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
We want to hear.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care, surfing in the sun, so free, just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue, waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care, surfing in the sun, so free, just the beach, the waves and me.
Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic, on what will be just an interesting day. Talking about the Philadelphia Phillies. We do have some Eagles stuff that we'll get into in the 7 o'clock hour, but
Looking forward to that.
we couldn't start with the Eagles today, right? After getting swept by the Brewers and in the fashion that they did, and the Saturday game being as bad as it was, we had to lead with the Phillies. And so before we get to our text line, I get an email from my man Joe G, who I've been talking to for many years, via email. And he's been on this case all season long that this Phillies team is much like the 2012 Phillies team, because he saw how the previous playoff series have gone, much like that 07 to 11 team where they took a step back every single year after the World Series in 08. Obviously, the big difference here, this team has not won a World Series.
Okay.
And the reason why I say we have an unhealthy amount of doubt with this team, or an unhealthy relationship with Topper, or an unhealthy relationship with the team itself, is the wild ebbs and flows that we go on as a fan base. Not just the baseball team, right? There's ebbs and flows in a baseball season. 162 games, it's a lot of games, a lot of days, a lot of travel. So the teams go on ebbs and flows every single week.
Okay.
Seems like fans do that as well. And so Joe G tweets at me on Saturday after the debacle that was Saturday's game, 17-7. 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
We go together because opposites attract?
They played better in May, still not convinced that the old issues facing this team are the same things that killed them this October. Getting belt to ass right now against the Brewers. So glad they showed up.
Okay, here's the problem. Here's the problem with Joe. What Joe's saying, though.
Because his last email was, "Hey, maybe I was wrong," and now all of a sudden he's right back to it.
Yeah, see,
that's what I mean. The ebbs and flows.
That's where I gotta go. That's where I gotta go. And I'm saying, Joe, and I'm sorry, that's where my listening ears are turned off. I can't do it.
But I think he speaks for a lot of people.
Yeah, but I can't do it with those people. I can't do it.
And that's why I say there's a lot of people that have an unhealthy relationship with this team. That 1 week they're the best team in baseball, the next week they suck.
I can't wait for the person that just goes, "Oh, the 8-game winning streak. I'm not. No email, no tweet, no nothing, and I'm just waiting."
Right, and then you wait for the first.
And
loss.
I'm waiting, and then I'm gone. There is a certain Eagles troll on Twitter. Guy, you guys are so positive. Oh my God, it's the Eagles show, and all you do is stay positive with the Eagles. Everything's negative on the Eagles. Everything's negative. All through the playoffs, all through the season, all through the thing. Nothing.
Yeah,
then they win
quiet.
a championship. Then they win a championship, and then it's right back at it. Now this offseason, and I'm like,
now he was probably on Broad Street though after they won.
No, he wasn't. No, he's not. I promise you that.
Wait, so does he hate watching the Eagles?
He doesn't. No, he doesn't like the Eagles.
Oh, okay.
But he's tired of us being thinking. I'm like, do I have to pull out the receipts of where you were wrong 100 times last year?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
And look, Joe G might not be wrong.
No, he might not be wrong in the long term. But again,
1 week they're the best. The next week they suck. The next week they're great.
I can't do it. See, now to me,
that's exhausting.
To me, I don't think that this window of time defines the 2025 Phillies any more than that 3-game series in July against the Yankees last year, when they got trounced and they gave up a ton of runs. Last year they gave up 24 runs in a 3-game sweep to the Yankees. I refuse to say, okay, this is a problem. They can't win anything. I just don't do it. But when you lose 4 games in a row at home and you give up 37 runs, I totally understand the frustration and looking at it in a small sample, why people are pissed off. But I refuse to say it defines. I'm not going to put in 4 games and ignore 40. I'm going to balance it out.
And now, to your point about the Yankees series, that was also
a great baseball team.
Right, but that was also when they started showing some problems.
Oh no, they were. But
have we seen? Legitimate problem signs.
This is when they started to show a few cracks.
Right, so this is the beginning.
Remember though,
they could turn it around this week.
But remember though, I keep hearing from people, and I just want to clarify. People said last year, well, everything fell apart after London. That is a lie. That's not true. The Phillies hit their high water mark when they swept the Dodgers.
Yeah, and then they got swept by the A's.
They were 29 games over 500, 61-32, right before the All-Star break. So it's not true. They played good baseball for another 3.5 weeks before the All-Star break. So it didn't all fall apart right at London. It just seems like everybody, that's when the Mets woke up.
Right, you're right.
That's when the Mets woke up. It's a big difference.
All right, what do we got on the text line? It's going to be a spirited day.
I guarantee
about
it will.
Our fightings. I just don't have the same energy. And I'm sorry. Well, I'm not, but
we got our guy Joe the Cynic checking in saying,
"What's up, Joe?"
I made the comparisons to the Phils roster structure and front office decision making to the Sixers, and I got ripped for it earlier in the year, and I still stand by it now.
It's not the same. It's not the same. The Sixers went out and bought a broken down old player at the end of his career. And it was a decision that literally hampers not only the short term, but the long term. So the Sixers roster building has no comparable nature to the Phillies roster building of this offseason.
now you can make.
And I love Joe.
You can make
I love
the comparisons to they were old going into this season,
Correct.
and they should probably have made some. I mean, they're running it back.
What are you going to do? I would ask. What were you going to do?
Right, you weren't going to move on from Turner. You can't move on from Turner. You're not moving on from Harper.
No one is taking the butcher at short. By the way, he's a freaking butcher.
Yeah, it was a bad error yesterday.
Again.
Yeah.
He's a butcher. And if I
right
see
after
him,
we complimented him on Friday that he'd been playing better.
And if I see him one more time, if I could think of Mr. Tenari, Mr. Catania. I'm trying to think of other coaches from Broomall Little League that would go, John, put your body in front of the ball. That would literally be like, get your body in front of the ball. Trey Turner will never put his body in front of the ball.
The error on Sunday, his body was.
I mean, no.
His body was in front of it.
Right, no, that one was right in front.
Yeah.
But he literally has to do everything, even routine balls, not get his body in front of it. It's just,
his body was in front of the one on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, but it's even routine balls. He's not fundamentally sound. Not a fundamentally sound fielder. He's a butcher.
Yeah.
He's terrible.
It was a bad error, which helped the Brewers come back
since he's been here, but they won't admit it. They won't admit it because the guy Trey wants to play short. So again, this is like Little League.
Oh man,
Trey wants to be the shortstop.
This is gonna be a fun day for me.
Bryson will go on the IL.
This is gonna be a fun day for me. I might need a beer. I've had plenty the last couple.
Wait a
of
minute,
days.
I bet you we have a beer sponsor that would bring something in. Think we could?
That'd be nice.
Come on by.
All right, coming up next, we'll check a couple more of our text messages.
I think you had enough this weekend.
I sure did. Obviously, this conversation will continue. And then to start the 7 o'clock hour, the Beacons of Light, the Philadelphia Eagles. And they made news on Friday. And we'll talk about something that we should all appreciate. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A much-needed day off for the Phils. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies wrapped up their series against the Milwaukee Brewers yesterday with a 5-2 loss, which completed the sweep for the Brewers. A costly error by Trey Turner in the 7th inning ultimately did the Phillies in. In the series, the Phils were outscored 28-11 in 3 games. Luckily for us all, that series is now over with. The Phils have a day off today before heading up to Toronto to begin this series with the Blue Jays tomorrow. Zach Wheeler's on the mound for Game 1 tomorrow night. The Phils will once again be on the practice field for OTAs this week before mandatory minicamp opens up next Tuesday, June 10th. We'll continue to keep you updated on all things Birds as the week progresses right here on The Fanatic. And over the weekend, we found out the matchup for the NBA Finals as the Indiana Pacers eliminated the New York Knicks on Saturday night. The Pacers are going to travel down to Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder for Game 1 this Thursday, which will be broadcasted live right here on The Fanatic, as will the entire NBA Finals. This update was brought to you by Rheem. When you want your home to feel like a dream, it has to be Rheem. Stay cool with high-efficiency AC systems from Rheem, R-H-E-E-M. Find your Rheem Bro partner at thereemteam.com. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the NBA playoffs, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hall of Fame baseball insider Jason Stark.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah.
6:56 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. A lot of Phillies to start the show
A lot of Phil.
after that weekend against the Brewers. And look, I want people to realize, like, I'm frustrated by this weekend as well. I just can't do we celebrated them for winning 9 of 10, and now all of a sudden they suck. And I'm not saying that you're saying that. I love the text message that you sent was like, it reminded me of my father with just like this is why they suck. Now, you didn't say they suck.
No.
I need that to be clear.
No, I just
You
said,
just gave you vented to me.
Yes.
And as I said earlier, I felt like I was being broken up with, and I was being told all the reasons why I'm being broken up with over a text message. You were so upset, and you should be upset. Everybody should be upset after this weekend.
I can't, and I have been upset about it for a long time, and I will continue to be upset about it. I am not about star players running the team. Not about it. Not about general manager Bryce Harper. Not about it.
Yeah, did they explain it yet? Like, legitimately explain
No,
it?
they're not going to explain
Because
it either.
if-
It's the explanation.
Now, look, if he never goes on the IL, here's what they're going to say. Look, we didn't want to put him on the IL because we thought we might need him in a spot to pinch hit, blah, blah, right? Like that,
Which is ridiculous.
You know that's going to be the explanation. If he does end up going on the IL, which I don't think you go on the IL for a bruise, but if he goes, let's
Wait a
say,
minute. He hasn't even played in a game in a week now. Coming up on a week. Are you serious?
they're not going to send him down for a rehab assignment at this point. right?
No. And they let people decide if they want to play rehab assignments too.
Right.
So now it's great.
Well, that's always been a
They're
Harper
letting them
thing,
now
yeah.
call. You know.
If he ends up going on the IL, then that's going to be a fascinating conversation.
I don't.
At this point, you can't put him on, right? Like,
No, because now you
to
have
save
to-
your own face.
Now you're going to look like, well, we have more information now. Here's the information. Bryce Harper didn't want to go on the IL. There's the information. Bottom line.
and what
And
would,
if he ends up,
what would keep him from not wanting to go on?
because he does, oh, I think I can be fine with this. I'll make that determination. No, you know what? You're up in the division at the time, 3 games. You got the best record in baseball. You got a situation where you don't know if he can go or not. You do not want to play shorthanded because you've got a doubleheader coming up, and then you've got a homestand going on. Let him go on the IL. Make sure he's rested up. Make sure he has plenty of time to get better, and then bring him back.
But again, are you going on an IL for a bruise?
He's not playing for a bruise, so why not go on the IL for a bruise?
Maybe they thought it would be better in a day or
Well,
two.
guess
right?
what? It's not. It's not. And look,
Now we
flat
have
out.
that information, yeah. But again, if somebody went on the IL and it was just a bruise, like I don't see why that would ever happen.
Well, the minute he's not ready to play in the Brewers' first game, when he misses 3 games of the Braves series, you say, okay,
Let's give this guy some rest.
Now we got to give him some rest retroactively, push it back retroactively, and then
Right.
get him back in there. But instead, they didn't do that.
Yep. And again, we don't know if
And they're
who
like-
would have been called
And
up.
then they're like, Bryce Harper's he's running around in the outfield. He's got a freaking bruise. And they're literally showing it. Look, it's great to see Bryce is able to run around in the outfield.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Holy gosh, with the coverage. Bryce is running around in the outfield. That's a warrior. Oh my gosh. He's got a bruise and he's running. That must be terrible.
It'll be a fun day.
Oh my gosh.
You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPN, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio,
I'd hate-
powering possibilities.
I'd hate to see if he had one of life's real struggles. My gosh.
All right, give us a text message, and then there's something to celebrate with the Philadelphia Eagles. What do we got, Gunner?
The Phillies are now 13-15 against winning teams. The Phillies are frauds. They can't beat winning teams. Another early exit in the playoffs if they make it. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Face palm emoji.
All right, hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. All right.
Again, there was not a period in that whole entire thing.
I remember we saw that tweet a million times yesterday. I got a tweet about it this morning.
I got it
already.
a million times too.
All right, so they're 13-15, and I understand that 13-12 isn't something that people would love to hear, but they were 13-12 against winning teams before this weekend series. There are ebbs and flows to baseball. They're in a rut right now after they were just 9 of their last 10. It's just amazing to me the energy after a win, sometimes very quiet, and the energy after a loss. It's like the sky is falling down. Now, if there were problem signs over the past 2 weeks, then sure, we'll talk about it. But right now, I can't react. That text, to me, tells me that person has an unhealthy relationship with the Phillies, that they're watching a baseball season like it's week 6 of an NFL season.
I think 4 games is different. If it came in yesterday, 4 games of watching that, I could understand someone being at a bit of a breaking point. I can.
But John,
Did you not expect them to not lose 4 consecutive games the whole season?
I do not expect that a team that is as talented as them and as good as them to lose in that fashion. No, I do not. That is a capital N. No.
See, the losses are one thing to me.
Losing 4 in a row, I got no problem
That's on the back burner to me. Like, the bigger issues to me are Trey Turner continuing to be a complete dunce at shortstop.
Which, by the way,
some of the
people
pitching
continue
issues
to
in the
excuse
bullpen.
make for.
But the 4 losses in a row is going to happen over 162.
No one's arguing the 4 losses in a row. I don't think that's what it is. It's the style of the loss that people are upset with.
All right, well then...
It's giving up 37 runs.
I was going to say...
in 4 days.
I was going to say this for later, and I know what you're going to say. Well, the Dodgers are a much better team than the Brewers, obviously. The Yankees gave up 18 runs the other day.
They did.
They lost 18-2.
And they won.
Like, it happens.
And they lost 1 game in a 3 game. And they lost 2 games in a 3 game series.
I know. Okay. And the Phillies lost 4.
They lost 1 game in a 3 games. They lost 2 games in a 3 game series.
Yeah, the Phillies beat the Dodgers earlier this year.
I understand. Dodgers won 2 out of 3, and there was 1 clunker in there. No one is even giving that a second thought if that's what the Phillies did. Phillies lost 4 games in a row at home and gave up 37 runs. It's not comparable.
Yeah, and they also
don't be looking for comparable.
Hold on. They've also lost 4 in a row, and to your point, maybe he should be on the IL. But
he should be.
Hold on, but they've lost 4 in a row with their best player out.
Oh, jeez.
What do you mean?
It's the Milwaukee Brewers.
It's Bryce Harper. It's the best player on their team.
Give me a freaking break. The Milwaukee Brewers roster, Andrew, is not as good as the Phillies with or without Bryce Harper. Period. Stop it. Stop it. I don't want to hear about Bryce Harper being out. The Brewers roster, with everybody healthy, is not comparable to the Phillies with Bryce Harper out.
Sports isn't just as simple as beating the teams that you have a better roster
than. No, I'm not saying beating them. How about competing with them? Come on, Brandon. 37 runs in 4 games. Stop it.
Do you think this lineup yesterday was all that good?
What do you mean?
Turner, Schwarber, okay. Bohm's your 3-0 hitter, which is horrible. Castellanos, Real Muto, who nobody likes. Edmundo Sosa, Weston Wilson, Bryson Stott, Johan Rojas. That was your lineup yesterday.
That is the team that that is a lineup that a week ago was the best record in baseball.
Well, Bryce Harper was in the lineup a week ago.
Is it?
No, I mean, John, it's a big deal.
Andrew,
it's a middle of the order. It's your best player.
The Milwaukee Brewers are not as good as the Phillies with whatever lineup.
Okay,
and even when
ebbs and flows in a season, it happens.
37 runs is not the same. We're not talking about 4 losses in a row. 4 losses in a row. If they lose 4-3, 5-4, 6-4, no one is having that reaction. It's the reaction of how they played. Listless, lethargic, absolutely with no fight. You give up 9.25 runs a game?
Yeah, obviously that number goes up because of the 17 on Saturday. It was an embarrassing loss.
It was pathetic.
And then they almost looked like they bounced back yesterday until the bad error. Then they end up losing.
A bad error early. There's a bad error early. Then there's a bad error later.
Yeah, and the bad error later allowed the game to be tied, and then they end up losing 5-2. I can't have this reaction. I can't, and everybody has their right to, and I understand. Look, I hate that they ran it back.
4 losses in a row isn't the same. If you lose 4 games in a row, and you lose and you're competitive in the games, nobody is reacting like that. When you lose 4 games and you give up 37 runs, it's different.
No, hold on a second. That's where you're
it's
wrong.
It's different.
You say nobody's reacting that way. You might not. There are a lot of people that react to every loss that this Phillies team has, whether it's by 1 run or 10 runs, like on Saturday. It's the same feel. There are people that feel a certain type of way about this team, and I don't think it's almost it's unhealthy.
We've already had losses this year. We've had many losses this year. We've come in and talked about. We have not had the reaction from this weekend. Is to me completely justified by what people watch. Now, if you're telling me the season's over, this team sucks, they're not winning,
and there's
anything,
a lot of that,
then that take is stupid to me. But if you are outraged over what you watched the last 4 days, you are completely justified.
Yeah,
it was
it
Little
sucked.
League Baseball.
Yeah,
Weston Wilson should not be on a Major League roster.
Correct.
And the fact that you continue to cater to Trey Turner and push off, you let him be a shortstop because he wants to be.
Good thing we only have, 10 more years of this conversation?
Isn't that great? Great contract. He wants to be a shortstop.
You're still going to be on the air 10 years from now, right?
No, thank you. You can text me on the golf course.
You're 11 of Kincade and Salciunas. Honestly, our show can coincide with Trey Turner's contract.
No, it can't.
How about until Turner's – you have to work until Turner's gone.
No, it can't. I can assure you that it can't because I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it.
All right, coming up next, something that
terrible contract.
Something we were going to get to this side. But I told you this Phillies conversation might take over the entire show.
Him and Joel can hang out.
I'm going to try to get some Eagles in here coming up next. We'll start with the Eagles next segment, I promise. The Eagles traded Bryce Huff, so that's what we're going to react to, and it's something that we should celebrate, not just because people don't like him, but it's something the Eagles constantly do. And it's something that should be celebrated. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Mike Missanelli.
If there's something that's going to prevent me from getting to the World Series and my glaring weakness.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand.
Phillies tweet right now, but I need to stop myself, or it'll take over the rest of the segment again.
Oh, no, yeah.
And we got to get to the Eagles news from this past Friday when they made the move to trade Bryce Huff to the San Francisco 49ers. Obviously, Robert Saleh, once again, the defensive coordinator in San Francisco, and he had his success with Saleh in New York. I still think Saleh got a bad deal with the
You do?
Jets. Yeah, I think he's a good coach.
I think he's a good defensive coach.
Yeah. I also think the Rodgers thing was...
He wanted him.
I know he did.
He wanted him.
That's going to hurt a lot of people.
I mean, please.
But Saleh back in San Francisco, so he gets Bryce Huff back, and the Eagles are trading him. We don't have the official details yet because it's obviously the June 1st thing, and so maybe now that it's a business day today, we'll find out. But I know it's a mid-round pick is what the report
It seems like
was.
5th or 6th.
Yeah.
Might be conditional.
Okay.
Might be. I don't know.
And the 49ers are eating some of the salary, not all of it.
Right.
But the Eagles are going to end up saving some money.
It's only
off of
2.5,
this.
I think.
Yeah, but you know what? Only 2.5? That means they're still saving, right? Like they're still saving money off of a guy that you could not dress in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So, look, here's what the Eagles do. Or here's what Howie Roseman, I should say, does. And I give him a lot of credit for it. And this goes back to Carson Wentz. If they realize something is not working out, they are not afraid to just, all right, bye. And I give them a lot of credit for it.
Yeah, rip the Band-Aid off.
Like, why not?
My mom used to say when you make a bad decision, fix it. Fix it.
Yeah.
Just don't sit there and try to figure out, well, what can I fix it?
And if it was
Go
so
fix it.
bad to the point where the report from Jeff McClain last week was that it was a mutual decision for him to not go to OTAs for injury or for whatever reason. Maybe it was just, hey, we're going to move on from you.
And that was what it was, is
Yeah.
they literally did say, stay away.
Like,
Good reporting by Jeff.
absolutely. If it got to that point, then why would you try to just work things out? You have a younger team, especially on defense, that you're trying to let guys grow. Remember, that was the message from Howie 2 years ago, 2 off seasons ago. Nick has to let the young guys play.
Right.
He was talking specifically about Nolan Smith, I think, but then there was obviously a lot of guys.
It was.
And now all of a sudden Bryce Huff's out. Now I understand that edge rusher is a point on this team where we're going, all right, do they have enough here? The thing is, John, we had the exact same conversation last year. And I know it took some time for the edge rushers to get home, right? They weren't getting many sacks the first half of that season. But it's like Vic Fangio and Vic I trust and Howie I trust right now.
Yeah, I need bodies.
Yeah. And they probably will. They
Maybe
have
one or two.
I saw the tweet.
Like-
Field Yates put out that they have about $15 million left in cap space now.
Correct.
After this move, because they said Jeff Kerr, I saw the tweet too, said that they saved about $2.5 million from.
They save around $2.5 million. I saw a lot of stuff by people going, man, they saved like a ton. I'm like,
They
no.
didn't. But
You know what
they
I said? But you know
they
what,
now
though?
have a decent chunk of change to use,
But they're out from under the contract,
which is great.
which is amazing.
And they did that with Wentz.
He-
They're not afraid to do that, and I give them a lot of credit.
Yeah,
for
but
it.
Howie's a master of getting somebody to bite in, and I truly believe he's going to get into that system and work.
Who in San Francisco?
Huff's going to go out there and be successful again.
Well, he's also not the guy going out there.
Right.
Like, he got brought in here because the future of Josh Sweat was, I think the writing was on the wall, right? Like he was going to be out after this season, regardless of what happened. You didn't know about Nolan Smith just yet. Nobody thought that Jalix Hunt would make an impact in the Super Bowl in year one, right? As a
not in year
third-round pick, former safety out of Houston Christian, right?
I hope that wasn't fool's gold.
Yeah, I hope not either.
And our man Andrew Checo does not believe it was.
Yeah, big Jalix Hunt fan.
So I'm good on that. I'm good on that. He's got.
But now Bryce Huff goes to San Francisco, and
I think Huff's going to go to San Francisco
rotational
and
piece.
contribute. If I would set right now, I'm expecting 6 sacks.
I was about to say 5.5, 6.
That's about what I'm thinking. And he's going to go there. He's going to be a rotational piece, and he's going to find success. And people are going to cringe. And I'm going to say to them, he wouldn't have had them in this system.
No, he would have been getting paid $51 million to be a rotational edge rusher here, and that's what's going on now.
He doesn't do what was required here. So
yeah. So look, I celebrate that Howie Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles can realize a problem, get ahead of it, and move on.
You realize what you just said? Just think about what you just said. And think about how different that is from the other franchises. The other two of the other franchises in town.
It's like you're ignoring the show sheet.
I know. I'm just saying.
Because
it's amazing, though. It's amazing.
I'm going to do a tease in about a minute. But
it's amazing.
Give us a text message first, because I don't want to get into that conversation just yet, because it is amazing.
It is amazing.
It absolutely is amazing. What do we got on the text line?
All right, we actually do have some positive texts coming in surrounding the Phils. We got Bruce checking in saying anyone feeling doubt or believing this Phillies team is not good based on the last 4 games is an overreaction. Phils are still a good team. They will be fine. I think the last 4 games prove how important Bryce Harper is to our lineup, protecting Schwarber and Turner.
Yes.
I think the one thing, though, is good team. I don't think the people who are thinking that this was really a bad week are saying that they're not a good team. They're a good team.
Yeah, they are a good team.
But are they a team that can win a championship?
Well, as we said last week, this lineup, the way it's constructed currently, I don't believe so, which is why I have to turn to Dave Dombrowski to make something happen come deadline time. And look, that's why, like, I can't freak out about the lineup on June 2nd. I can grouse that they should have made changes during the offseason because we were screaming for it. I can grouse that you wasted a season last year by not acquiring a center fielder, and then you decide to
double down on that.
Yeah, well, technically triple down on it.
Yep.
They Marsh and Rojas were playing in the 23 NLCS when they choked it away. So they've tripled down on those 2 guys. Maybe it is because of the Logan O'Hoppe trade, right? And they're trying to prove that the trade was worth it.
Yep. No, that is.
If I wake up August 1st, if 4 o'clock, July 31st, is that usually the trade deadline time?
I think it's right around there, yeah.
If it's 4:01 on July 31st and the Phillies don't have a new center fielder, be prepared, because I will not be happy the next day on the air. I'll do one of the instant reaction videos that Bill Colarulo likes to do.
My gosh. July 30th.
July 30th.
6 p.m.
Oh, dude.
So it is a Wednesday night at 6 p.m.
I'm either going to be a part of bath time with Coop, or I'm going to be, like, in my basement crying.
There could be instant reactions on that day that aren't going to be good.
All right, so it is amazing what we just said about Howie Roseman. We always ask, why don't other NFL teams do what the Eagles do? Can we say the same thing about other sports? And let's focus about the teams in our town. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A weekend to forget for the Phils. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phils wrapped up their series with the Milwaukee Brewers yesterday with a 5-2 loss, which completed the sweep for the Brewers. A costly error by Trey Turner in the 7th inning ultimately did the Phillies in. In the series, the Phillies were outscored 28-11 in the 3 games. Luckily for us all, that series is now over with. The Phils have an off day today before heading up to Toronto to begin a series with the Blue Jays tomorrow. Zach Wheeler's going to be on the mound for Game 1. That's tomorrow night. Eagles, they're once again on the practice field this week. OTAs before mandatory minicamp opens up next Wednesday.
You're not having a stroke, are you?
No, thank God. We'll continue to keep you updated on all things Birds as the season progresses. And over the weekend, we found out the matchup for the NBA Finals. The Indiana Pacers beat the New York Knicks on Saturday night. The Pacers are going to travel to Oklahoma City for Game 1 on Thursday, which is going to be broadcasted live right here on The Fanatic. This update was brought to you by Hand & Stone. It's glow time, and you've earned it. Relax and renew at Hand & Stone and Facial Spa. Their facials deliver real results and soothing care. Now's the perfect time to start your Hand & Stone journey. Visit handandstone.com today. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the NBA Finals, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Vacation, business trip.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and feel the tide. Summer on the beach. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Walking on the sand.
7:26 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Amazing how our minds work, Johnny. I put something down on the show sheet, and then you have a very similar thought as we were talking about Bryce Huff last segment.
I mean, it's the truth when you see organizations that are flexible and move.
So the Eagles trade Bryce Huff on Friday, and we're celebrating, not just because it's like, get him out of town, but the fact that the Eagles show time and time again, if they make a mistake, they're not afraid to try to fix that mistake. So let's try to smooth things over with Bryce.
Okay.
Like, let's bring him in. Let's try to look. It's not working out here for both parties. Let's move on. Devin White, that was one. It's amazing. That guy was an Eagle, kind of.
And he got cut at the bye week.
Yeah, during the season. Did he?
Or it was right before Tampa. Maybe it was right before Tampa.
He didn't even dress for.
It was right after Tampa because he reposted Shaq Barrett making a play.
Right.
And people
I remember
out.
that. Yeah, and they signed him to like $7 million, something like that.
He got some money,
and a lot of it was incentive based.
Sure.
But he got a decent contract, and the Eagles were like, "Yeah, this guy's not part of our plans. Let's just move on." So the question is, can other teams in Philly do that, or why don't other teams in Philly do that? Now, it is different. Each sport's a little bit different, right? Like,
well, in the NBA, it's much tougher when you make a mistake. It can saddle you forever.
Right. And in baseball, like Trey Turner, the 10-year contract, not that I'm not looking to move on from Trey Turner, right? Like, if somebody asked me today, would you move on from Trey Turner? I don't know. Like,
you honestly wouldn't? If someone was willing to take Trey Turner's contract for the Phillies.
Just the contract. They're just saying here, we'll take
you're willing to take someone's willing
because you're not getting anything for him.
No, you'd get something for Trey Turner. He's been much better at the plate this year.
If you're dying to move on from him, why would somebody give you something that you want?
No, you're not going to get it.
Look how quick you were to be like, you wouldn't get rid of him?
You seriously would not take his contract off the books? It would absolutely open up the entire chessboard.
So then Bryson stock goes to short, and then you figure something else at second base.
No, it just gives you financial flexibility for one thing. It gives you that ability. Then you make the decision: do you let Schwarber walk, or do you hopefully then you have no problem signing Schwarber?
Well, they shouldn't have a problem.
No, because
there's no salary cap in baseball. So
well, really, John Middleton's sort of acting like he's got one.
Oh, he's got the luxury.
Well, then there is a salary cap in baseball. He's putting one on himself.
So can other sports do it, and why don't they do it? Is something that we can discuss here. So
sure.
Look, there's really one team in town that you're really going to look at right now. It's the Sixers, right? Because the Paul George and Joel Embiid.
Sure.
Now, to Daryl Morey's credit, he has moved on from guys, right? Like
the Al Horford deal would have been moving on from the Al Horford contract would be every bit as skillful as if you were able to move on from the Trey Turner contract.
And there's a lot of teams that would go, no, we can't give up on this after 1 year. Let's try it out, right? He comes in, he goes, nah, I don't like this. I'm going to move on. Now, he didn't sign Al Horford, right?
Correct.
Elton Brand did. So Daryl Morey goes, this isn't my guy. I'm going to move on from him. But you're right. Like, it is harder in other sports. Like
NBA's the most difficult.
Plus, there's only 2 rounds in the draft.
It's a straitjacket.
Right. Like, the 49ers go, all right, Robert, you really like this guy? Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator. You really like this guy. And you're saying we should eat some of the salary, not all of it, because the Eagles are still paying a lot of it. And we need to give up maybe a 5th or 6th round pick. All right. You can do that a little bit more in the NFL because of the amount of rounds, the amount of picks, compensatory picks, all that kind of stuff.
John Lynch. John Lynch. I know John Lynch will listen. I know Kyle Shanahan will listen. Like, he'll listen.
Yeah. To their defensive coordinator.
He brought him back, so he listens. They trust the guy. He's been there before.
Yeah.
So they're feeling good about him. And I think that's a good move. I think it's a good acquisition for them because he's worked in their system before.
Right.
So good for him.
And here's the deal. Again, Bryce Huff versus like Joel Embiid. I understand there's a lot of people that are just out on Joel Embiid. I get it. And they don't want to hear the when he's healthy thing. But the question is, are you going to just give up Joel Embiid just to get out of it? There's some people that might.
Could I? I would in a second.
So you're just
I'm not believing in the pipe dream. I'm not believing in this.
right. But again, in the NBA, you have to make the salaries work.
No, but I mean, if there's a way, absolutely. If there's a way,
you would do it today if there was a way.
today. And the Paul George thing, yesterday.
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yesterday. By the way, I saw yesterday. I was at the supermarket. You could win a virtual meet and greet with Paul George. I'm like, it has to be virtual because you never know when he's going to show up.
It was on the podcast.
It was like you can win a virtual meet and greet with Paul George. Look at that's what we're at with kids now. The kids like,
oh, ew! I didn't even think about. Yeah, that's weird.
You can win a virtual meet and greet.
Oh, that's like that sucks.
He's what? You get a Zoom call with him?
Yeah, like that's
terrible.
Oh, Omegle with Paul George.
That's very good.
Which, by the way, that would still be cool.
Yeah, but still, though.
But it's not this like.
That's what we're at.
Get a virtual. Yeah, that's weird.
But you don't know when he's going to show up.
That's a good point, Johnny.
Honestly.
All right, what do we got on the text line? You can continue the Phillies conversation at 610-632-0975. Also, the Eagles just celebrating the fact that they get ahead of a problem. They get rid of the player if they believe it's a problem. And I'm not saying that Bryce Huff, the person, is a problem.
And he wasn't.
Right.
By the way, he was not.
Yeah,
and they made
Andrew
that very
DeCecco
clear.
tells us all the time. He was a great professional, great teammate.
What do you think of the peace sign with his Eagle shirt on? Why were people losing their minds over that? His social media post?
Oh, did he? I didn't see. I don't.
He had a social
I don't
media
follow
post of
Bryce
just
Huff on-
peace sign, thanks Philly or whatever.
Yeah, I saw it. I think people were just like, I don't need to see this guy ever again. What do you mean peace to us? Like, get out of here.
I don't think that Bryce Huff was.
First thing I see, I type in Bryce Huff on Twitter, and I noticed it's an Instagram post, and it's in holding up the peace sign. And somebody tweets, Jeff tweets, Bryce Huff holding up his tackle total from 2020.
We got 2.5 sacks, but I mean, I don't think that I don't hold any ill will towards Bryce Huff.
You know, the Eagles won the Super Bowl. What do I care about Bryce Huff?
I don't hold any ill will, and it got fixed. The contract stuff got fixed.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he was a malcontent.
Right. No, like by all reports, he was a good teammate.
So that's it. I'm fine. I'm fine with it. If the guys in the locker room weren't having a problem with him, the coaches weren't having a problem with him, then I don't have a problem.
Yeah, I don't think people like somebody else getting the last laugh on him.
Yeah, but he didn't. No, the last laugh is the Eagles not dressing him for a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, that's the last laugh.
I agree with you. I think some people perceive it as a diss that he's posting a piece.
Okay, I got you.
Right. He's saying peace.
I got
guys, you. You know, he didn't want to do the the 10-page Philadelphia Inquirer thing, the front page or the back page. He just wanted to do an Instagram post.
No, I have no problem.
I got no problem.
I honestly have no problem with it either.
Yeah.
He'd be lucky to make it in my high school newspaper for a front page or a back page.
Oh, boy.
What do we got on the text line there, Gunner?
We got John V checking in saying, we talk about not analyzing baseball games like the NFL games, but here we are breaking down every single move after a rough weekend. This baseball team will be fine. It's one series loss. I have faith they will make a move before the deadline. Let's not overreact, everybody.
Now here's the thing, and I'm going to sound like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth here, and
all right, what are you trying to do?
I promise I'm not trying to. I agree with what he's saying about not overreacting from this weekend. But I also don't want to just say, oh, they'll be fine, because I don't like this lineup the way it's constructed. Now, I have until July 30th, 6 p.m.
6 p.m. that Wednesday.
Dave Dombrowski has until July 30th, 6 p.m. to fix the problems that I think this team has. So that is something that I'm not going to overreact to, the way this lineup is built, all that kind of stuff, because I think that they have an opportunity to fix that in the next month and 28 days. However, I'm not going to say, oh, my God, this weekend is the reason why this team sucks. I'm not there.
Okay, that's fine.
And neither are you. You don't think this team stinks.
I don't think the majority of people are the lunatic fringe, though, that we're dealing with. I don't think the majority. The majority are not where the lunatic fringe are. The lunatic fringe are just the loudest. I do not believe that the majority of the fan base is at, we suck, we can't win anything. I believe that's the lunatic fringe. I believe there are a lot of people that are very frustrated, though, and they have every right to be wondering, after this past offseason and the last two trade deadlines, that this team's very complacent.
Yeah, I mean,
we're okay, nothing to go here. And then
we played the clips last week. Dave Dombrowski was on John Heyman's podcast, and he said that a lot of the improvements on this Phillies team can be internal, by guys just playing better. And then that's when I ask Dave Dombrowski, who's playing better? I get you have your key guys.
Right.
Your I can't even say Real Muto anymore, right?
No, you cannot.
It's Harper, Schwarber, Castellanos, Turner, right?
Right.
And then you hope that Stott is better than what he has been.
I've been pleased with Stott, though, his progress at the plate when they put him in.
He's hitting 254. Like,
Sure,
it's not
but
like
I mean, I think he's. I'm not in any way out on Stott.
But it's the other, like Kepler. Like, what
Kepler.
are you waiting for? Like, what is the? I honestly need Dave Dombrowski to look me in the eyes and tell me what he thinks Max Kepler is.
No,
or
I need
Brandon Marsh.
I
or
need
Johan
Connor
Rojas.
Thomas to look me in the eye and tell me what he thinks Max Kepler is.
Yeah, he's the power bat this team needed.
That's what I need. He better have a lot to say about it too next time we see him.
I'm trying. When was his last home run, Kepler?
The other in Oakland.
In Oakland.
Well, in Sacramento in the Little League ballpark.
All right, so if
they play a game in Williamsport this summer, we might get lucky.
Remember how he had that stretch and everyone said, "Oh, here he is. This is the guy that
Here it comes.
This is the guy that we expected." I don't know what you're expecting. I don't know what Dave Dombrowski is expecting. All right, coming up next. So this weekend sucked. Duh. We'll try to keep on having some fun with the Eagles. We'll get more text messages. Don't worry. But one guy that can help replace Bryce Huff, well, doesn't take much, is Jalix Hunt. Hear from him from last week. Coming up next, Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fnat.
Connor Thomas.
What this is with all of the things.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand.
It's 7:41 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, so Jalix Hunt, talked about him not too long ago. He's obviously going to be a guy that the Eagles are going to have to turn to. Now that Bryce Huff's gone, and again, it's not like you're replacing a 10-sack player. You're just replacing somebody that ate up a lot of money, but it was also a roster spot. And I imagine they're going to do something. They're going to see who gets released. They have $15 million in cap space. I wonder if there's one of those like vets that are out there right now that's available that just isn't with the team. And the Eagles are usually pretty good with that. And right now, your edge rushers are Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt. Get to work. Now they can mix and match all kinds of stuff. I get it,
And there's not a ton out there.
No, there's not.
Not a ton out there.
So, but we said that last year, and they won the Super Bowl.
But you had veterans.
Yeah, you did. So one thing is learning from the guys around you.
Okay.
And you had Brandon Graham, and you could also look at the other side of the ball as well. Here was Jalix Hunt last week, and it's something that I really liked hearing this. Now, again, you have to perform. You have to do it on the field, but it's a clip where I heard from Jalix Hunt. I go, you know what? I like this a lot. Take a listen.
I learned how to follow. Last year, we had BG, the great BG, the legendary BG, Josh Sweat in the room, Huff, everybody, a whole bunch of vets. So I learned how to, kind of stay in my place, or not even necessarily stay in my place, but to be able to look at somebody and ask for advice instead of trying to be so high-strung. We have some great leaders in this building, Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson, Jalen, AJ. So you look to players like that, Saquon, you look to them because they step up in big moments, and, when you got Jalen Hurts throwing crazy dimes to Devontae or AJ, anybody, Jahan, I don't want to fall short at my job. So I just make sure I focus and I can keep up to the standard.
I like him a lot.
So do I.
And, that doesn't mean anything about the field. It means something.
Right.
But, I hear that and I go, all right. And, oh, by the way, he was able to learn at the highest level, literally winning the Super Bowl.
He did.
And I think that goes a long way for all the rookies like DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, who were tremendous, right? They were obviously better than Jalix Hunt in year one. Hunt just had limited opportunities. But he's a guy that you're going to have to turn to. And he's going to have to make some sort of an impact this year. I'm looking at their roster right now. They obviously haven't updated it with some of the moves. Bryce Huff is still listed on here. Brandon Graham is still listed on here. So the only defensive end, like just straight up defensive end that's listed on this team is KJ Henry.
Is it not a major worry to you?
Dude, I mean, it is.
It should be. I think anybody who it's not, it's a head in the sand. You're literally just putting your head in the sand. Because that is a major worry. And by the way, in a salary cap sport, every team has a major concern.
Right,
has something.
absolutely.
This is the Eagles' major concern.
So here are the guys you're looking to right now. Again, the roster could change.
This is your depth chart.
Your outside linebackers, because that's what technically DNs are too, right?
Right.
Jalix Hunt, man, you just heard. So going into year two,
who is a completely unproven commodity.
Patrick Johnson, who's back, but he's more of a special teams player. Azeez Ojulari, who we're excited for.
I like Azeez.
But can he stay healthy? That's kind of been the big thing with his career.
Can he stay healthy? But I think high-level ceiling guy, 8 sacks. I wanted him here. So I like 8 sacks, ceiling. Yeah, that's fine.
Nolan Smith, obviously. Coming off an injury.
Nolan, who honestly, we were talking leading into Thanksgiving. Come on, Nolan, where are you?
Right. And then he was great.
And then he was fantastic.
Yeah.
But if we're talking going into Halloween this year, Nolan, where are you? That's a problem.
And then lastly, Josh Uche, who, he had the great season 3 years. It's like Max Kepler. Like 3 years ago, he was really good. We'll see.
Connor's going to tell us he's going to be great.
I'm
concerned.
This is a position where they might still need to keep an eye open when it comes to the market.
No, what do you mean? They need 2. Dude, they need 2. I mean, and they need sooner than later. Because you can't go, Liv and her friends like to go, thrifting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You can't go thrifting. You want to win a Super Bowl at this position as thin as you are right now. You've got to go get whatever you can find as like best available. Then you could go thrifting for the next spot. You can go thrifting.
Right.
You can't go thrifting for. They need 2 bodies.
Yeah. I'm looking at
And I'm telling you, anybody available?
Oh, dude, Camus still available. Remember
Really?
Camus Grugier Hill?
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, it's not great. It's not great to play. I mean, look, Von Miller's still available, but you know that the Eagles would not bring
great.
him. They're not going to bring him back.
And not great with the locker room.
Yeah, so they're not going to bring him back.
Is there a world where they struggle there and BG comes back halfway through the season? I mean, he talked about
I don't think
not
so.
thinking, the not wanting to be done. I know Howie forced him out.
I don't think so.
How he forced him out.
I know he's saying he's still staying in shape, and I saw like videos of him working out, but
Can I ask you what, in retrospect now, knowing that Sweat's gone, knowing that you've lost Sweat, knowing that you've gone down, what was the urge so quickly to go on from BG?
I don't know. Maybe it was just the human element, as how he basically told BG, "Hey, this is the best way to go. You want a Super Bowl,
dude? What the human element?
Yeah,
human
you
element is
want a Super Bowl.
Human element is your team isn't good enough right now. That's the
and he's
human
saying,
element I'm more worried about.
You're an Eagle legend. I want you to go out on top. I don't know.
Human element is he still played better than some of the guys you had in the roster last year.
Well, yeah, there's a reason why Bryce Huff didn't play, and he did.
So to me, human element be damned. What the human element? He was still playing well, and he admitted, Brandon Graham admitted he went into the meeting wanting to come back. He went out of the meeting, Howie talking him into leaving. Yeah. In other words, saying, you aren't coming back. So to me, this would be worth...
Unless they think really highly of Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt to carry the bulk of those carries, or the bulk of the snaps.
Or,
I mean, Nolan Smith, will be. It's, do they really believe in Jalix Hunt?
What did they pay Brandon Graham last year? $6 million? Something like that?
That's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head.
They've got more money now. I don't know. I'd certainly think about it.
Unless they think something's going to happen. I mean, I'm sure Howie's been talking to
2 torn triceps in a year.
Yeah,
is not good.
That's right. He retore. That's right.
He retore.
Derek Gunn broke the news here on the show while you were out.
While I was in Jamaica.
All the good
million.
stuff happens.
$4 million they paid him.
Not much.
You tell me right now, $4 million right now, Andrew, you do it?
Sure.
BG, come back.
How about this?
Yes.
I wait to see what other fallout there is.
Okay, that's good. That's fair.
Because if BG's not going to BG's not going to sign with like the Titans today.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
no. Okay, so then you wait and see.
I wait and see the fallout. Hey, BG, keep working out.
Okay.
And we'll give you a call if we need you.
Okay.
And I don't think Brandon Graham's going elsewhere.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, he's not going elsewhere.
Right, exactly. All right, coming up next, we'll reset our topics today. We'll check some more text messages. We'll get into this keep that same energy conversation that we kind of hinted at earlier in the show. It's the emotion after a loss versus the emotion after a win, or the emotion after 4 straight losses, which they had, versus the emotion after winning 9 of 10. It's drastic how different it is. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A much-needed day off for the Phillies. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phils wrapped up their series with the Milwaukee Brewers yesterday with a 5-2 loss, which completed the sweep for the Brewers. A costly error by Trey Turner in the 7th inning ultimately did the Phillies in. In the series, the Phils were outscored 28-11 in the 3 games. Luckily for us all, that series is now over with. The Phils have an off day today before heading up to Toronto to begin a series with the Blue Jays tomorrow. Zach Wheeler is going to be on the mound for that one in Game 1. The Eagles will once again be on the practice field for OTAs this week before mandatory minicamp opens up next Tuesday, June 10th. We'll keep you updated all things Birds all week long right here on The Fanatic as OTAs progress. And over the weekend, we found out the matchup for the NBA Finals as the Indiana Pacers knocked out the New York Knicks on Saturday. The Pacers traveled to Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder for Game 1 of the NBA Finals this Thursday, which is going to be broadcasted live right here on The Fanatic, as will the whole series. This update was brought to you by Extreme Experience. Give Dad the ultimate driving experience in a Ferrari, Lamborghini, or Porsche on a real racetrack. Extreme Experience hits Atlanta Motorsports Park July 10th through 13th. Save 25% for Father's Day. ExtremeExperience.com. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the NBA Finals. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Texting, the easiest and most convenient.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and
7:55 on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. By the way, deal of the week still kicking, man. Check out the same-day ride and water park combo ticket to Maury's Piers for just $70. That's a savings of $50 per ticket for unlimited rides on 3 piers and both water parks for a whole day. Make this summer unforgettable at Maury's Piers. Get this exclusive offer while 975thefanatic.com/deals. Now, this past weekend, even though the weather actually held up, I was down the shore both days.
A little chilly?
That's a perfect like amusement park day. if you're down the shore, let's say you took your week down the shore this past weekend, right? And the weather's not that great on the beach.
Okay.
You use the Fanatic deal of the week, same day. Maybe you don't do the water park so much because it's a little chilly, but you do the rides all day.
Oh my gosh, not a problem.
And you save $50 a ticket.
That'd be great.
So you could buy it now and save it for a rainy day.
That works. And when
Not
you're heading down for a week, you know that could very well come in.
It could happen, yeah, when you're living on the shore like that. All right, so the Phillies get swept by the Brewers. It was embarrassing on Saturday, and the Phillies have now lost 4 straight games. So one thing I'm trying to figure out, and I think a lot of people, it's because of, sort of predetermined, I don't want to say agendas, but beliefs on the baseball team. And this is any sport, right? Football, basketball, hockey. If you think a team is going to fall short of whatever you want them to do, which in this case it's win the World Series, because that's the point we're at.
That's all we're talking about right
with this
now, right?
team. There's people that are going to point out every flaw if they think they're going to fall short. And when things are going well, you might be quiet.
You can't do that, though.
And then the second they lose a game or two, this is why they're not going to win, blah, blah, blah.
See, we can't have that, though.
And why is that? Like, why is it that people
Because people want to
can't
be right.
keep the same energy?
They want to be right. Because now, where you went to the lunch table, we used to go to the lunch table at O'Hara.
Okay.
We'd talk sports, shoot the bull. And if you were wrong about something, someone would maybe call you on it.
Yeah.
But you could say, I never said that. But in your era,
now there's receipts everywhere,
there's
man.
receipts. We never had receipts. We just had our mouth writing checks that we couldn't carry. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now it's different. There are receipts left and right. Everybody's got receipts. So it's totally different. And that's part of it. I think that's what it is. And everybody wants to be right. I mean, that's the...
But why?
Because they want to be right on their opinions.
But
because
why? I do this for a living. I get paid to talk sports for a living, right?
Right.
But I am still ultimately a Philadelphia sports fan.
I got you.
So all right, I want Max Kepler to hit 40 home runs this year.
There would be nothing better
than
to be wrong about Max Kepler.
Right, like I want him to hit 40 bombs.
For Connor to be able to come in here and go, in your face.
Would love it.
Would be great because it meant that's great.
Right. I want Brandon Marsh to be the center fielder that they thought they were getting when they traded for him, even though he was striking out as much as Kyle Schwarber was.
I told Connor the last few years, all the things that he kept telling me weren't...
Connor's just catching strays.
No, it's not strays. But I said
luckily this isn't on TV.
All the things that he told me
shout out you
weren't a big deal with the Phillies ended up being exactly why the Phillies fell apart in the postseason.
Right. You wished you were wrong.
And I said, look, I want them to win. But everybody who tells me, that ain't a big deal. Not a big deal. Look, they're winning 90 games. They should win 90 games. They are one of the best rosters in baseball. A top 5 payroll. 90 games shouldn't be something that we're like, yay, we won 90 games. It doesn't mean you got a fatal flaw. This team has fatal flaws. And from what I've seen of Dave Dombrowski, it's been very complacent. Last 2 trade deadlines and this past offseason, he was Rip Van Winkle.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
And he's already on the record saying he thinks some of the improvements are just internal.
Well, guess what? Sometimes the killer is inside the house. I've seen that movie.
That is true, too.
I've seen that movie.
So, I don't know. Like, I understand that it's easier to complain than it is to praise. Like, I mentioned, I always use the Yelp review example.
Okay.
Like, a restaurant could have 100 5 stars and 5 1-star reviews.
And I ignore them.
But who are the 5 that comment? It's the 5 people that had the bad experience.
And I
right?
just ignore them. Like I said, those people are ignore worthy. Just ignore them. And to me, that's where I say to you, the lunatic fringe is the lunatic fringe. That's who they are.
Is it the fringe with this team?
Yes.
I don't know.
It's the lunatic fringe.
Man.
Because the majority of fans do not think this Phillies team is terrible.
Right, I'm not. Okay, you're right.
The majority
fringe
of fans
is terrible.
do not. They do not. The majority of fans believe this Phillies team is a good team, but I would also believe, right now, that the majority of fans do not think this Phillies team is good enough to win it all.
Well, and that's why there are a lot of people, and I think more than what you think, that are doing the wake me up when.
And I don't know that I can argue with them right now and make a real solid case that that they're wrong and I'm right.
Well, that's why we got to see trade deadline if they make any moves. And stop believing in certain players that are way past their prime or never reached it or they've already hit their ceiling and it's not good enough.
Correct.
You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN. WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. All right, we got today's headlines with Brendan Gunn coming up in about 12 minutes. Let's get to some text messages. Also, we got a call. Let's go to Jim and Cheltenham. Let's talk about what we just sort of discussed with this roster and what they can do. What's up, Jim?
How you doing, guys? The Phillies are, I think, in a dangerous situation right now. I mean, this team is showing a lot of the bullpen is my fans one, and I get all the games. It's one of the worst bullpens in the National League. This bullpen cannot be fixed, and now they're showing holes in their lineup. But they do have 3-4 outstanding players in their system. If they gamble and throw away these couple of these players or all of them, they're going back where they were between 12 and 21 again. So I would
hold on. So let's talk this out.
It's time to retool this team a little bit. If you could do that, maybe you can get back. But this team they're overrated. They have no chance to go to win a World Series.
I can't say
there's a possibility they may not make the playoffs.
I can't say they have no chance.
No chance.
That's crazy.
To win a World Series, yes.
They're the best record. They're the best record in baseball.
Just last week.
3 days. No. Yeah. 3 days ago, they had the best record in baseball.
Yeah, but I was watching those games, and I was noticing all the holes in this team.
Yeah, but what about every other team then? Then they had more holes.
I'm just giving my opinion.
No, I understand that, but the thing is, though, if you're saying that
for 50 years,
okay,
I'm just giving you my opinion.
I'm watching 31.
No, but I get you. But I've been watching 10 years less. But here's the idea: is that if you're saying the best team in baseball has all these holes, then that means
they're not the best team in baseball. I disagree with you.
3 days ago they were.
I get every game. I watch every game.
How can you watch every game? How many days? How many hours do you have in a day?
24 when you retire.
Then how do you watch every game?
I'm just telling you. Hey, I'm just giving my opinion.
But you're telling me you watch every game.
You have every right to your opinion, Jim.
This bullpen cannot be fixed. They need 3 or 4 pitchers.
Oh, I agree with you. Yeah. The bullpen's atrocious right now.
And you can't win. You can't win the playoffs without a bullpen.
Correct, and that's why, Jim, and I appreciate the call. I keep on saying I have to wait till the trade deadline. Now, Jim. What he was saying, without straight up saying it, was not to trade players away. He said you got to retool, right? So he's not saying rebuild, but he doesn't want to trade away any of the young assets, right?
Okay, I understand.
He mentioned Mick Abel, right?
I don't want to get rid of Mick Abel either.
Now, I'm excited to see him Thursday.
Yes,
he's back in the rotation. He should be back in the rotation. I'm also not going to have one start against the Pirates dictate whether or not I want to move on from him.
Well, I'm also not going to say, based on it, they just get rid of him either. Because the thing is there's nothing better in an organization than controllable young starting pitching. So I am going to be very, very diligent in my decision making because if you have you got
2 months.
If Painter and Abel end up being 2 guys that look like they can be in your rotation, because one thing you've got is a horrible potential problem on your hands with Aaron Nole's contract.
Yeah.
So, to me, I am going to be incredibly diligent on making that decision.
I see the team a little bit different than Jim. I see that, look, there are flaws, right? Like, there are absolutely flaws. And I
agree. I agree with him more than I disagree with him.
Right, but to just say they have no shot, I think that's crazy.
The best record in baseball, you cannot say they have no shot to win anything. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
And that's when I talk about the energy thing, right? Like, Jim didn't call.
He took it too. Jim
didn't call the last couple of weeks. See, it's interesting, right? I'm sorry, Jim. I appreciate you listening, and I don't mean to attack you more, but I'm going to for a second. Oh, I noticed all these flaws even when they were winning. Well, then why didn't you call? Why didn't you tell us? Hey, I know that they're winning games right now, but this is an issue that I see.
And the thing
Instead, you wait until they lose 4 straight, and you go, see, I always knew this.
And the thing is, Jim, you and I agree with each other more than we disagree on the points you make. But then you take it way too far.
I got no shot.
You got to take it way too far and go, the best team in baseball 3 days ago, the best team in baseball on May 30th has no shot to win a World Series, and has no shot to even get to a World Series. Then it was no shot to win a World Series. Then it was no shot to get to a World Series. Then it's like it just is ridiculous. You got to keep it to a logical level.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
At what age do I have to be able to say, I don't care how many years you've been?
Guess what? You absolutely can say, you can say, nobody can say, I've been watching. It means nothing.
I know.
Watching. I have
makes me laugh.
I have watched Phillies baseball longer than you have.
Like watching Whitey Ford in the 1940s doesn't help me in 2025.
And honestly, just because I have watched baseball longer than you does not mean that my baseball eyes are better than yours.
Now, there's some arguments like I don't comment on Jordan versus LeBron. I saw Michael Jordan in person wearing a Wizards jersey. I don't comment on those sort of arguments.
What argument did we get into? We got into the argument about. We got into an argument.
Was the prohibition good or not?
No, we got into an argument about where the two of you were. Gunner, where I was getting on you about the top five. The Eagles are top five team of all time. It was ridiculous because I'm saying you never even saw these teams play, and you're arguing against them. The Eagles aren't.
I saw the Legion of Boom, and that was my argument.
The Eagles are not a top.
In fairness, that was his argument.
And the Eagles are not a top five team of all time. But more importantly, the Eagles weren't even favored in this year's Super Bowl. How could you be a top five team of all time and not be favored to win the Super Bowl you're playing?
You know why, John? Because Hunger Dogs run.
It's the truth.
I want to look up the Legion of Boom against the Broncos when the Broncos offense put up 70 touchdowns that year. They were not favored either. They were in your top five.
We got to stop being homers.
Hungry Dogs run fast.
Stop being homers.
Come on, man.
It's not. If you're not favored to win the Super Bowl you're not a top five
No one
team.
likes us. We don't care, John.
Well, that's the biggest lie. We know that.
Coming up next, we have today's headlines with Brendan Gunn here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philadelphia Union Soccer.
They play short here, quick.
Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care, surfing in the sun, so free, just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you.
Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. A lot of Phillies talk, a lot of Eagles talk. The Phillies talk has been spirited. Go ahead.
Just in one note, too, we wanted to send our condolences to our buddy Kevin Nagandi, whose dad passed yesterday.
Oh, yeah, it's horrible.
Kevin's dad passed on. Our thoughts with his family as he has now lost his dad.
Yeah. I know he lost his mom just, 2 years ago?
2 years ago, I think it is, yeah. So that's a tough one for Kevin.
Hearts go out to the Nagandi family. Also, how about Steve Brinkus passed away? He's battling depression. So if anybody needs help, obviously talk to somebody.
Reach out.
Reach out to somebody and get any help that you could possibly get, even if it's just with somebody you love.
Someone to
right?
talk to.
And you also, if you know of anybody that is struggling, make sure you reach out.
Sure.
All right. It is time now for today's headlines with Brendan Gunn.
Today's headlines with the one and only Brendan Gunn.
What do we got, Gunner?
Well, first off, it's brought to us by the one and only great sponsor in this world, Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name Lundy Law. Your injury lawyers, visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. And over the weekend, we found out the NBA Finals matchup between the Pacers and the Thunder. But that means the Knicks are gone. Sorry, Nova Knicks fans out there.
Apologizing to them.
Sorry to all you
Nova
guys
Knicks fans. It's disgusting.
Nobody cares about the Knicks.
And sorry to all the NBA on TNT fans out there, because that was also the last of it. I got Ernie Johnson doing his sign-off. John sent me a funny video, too, over the weekend. He's going to have to talk about it, but here was Ernie Johnson's sign-off.
The nonsense and the foolishness and the top-notch basketball analysis, all of that stuff's going to be on. It's going to be on ESPN or ABC next year, not on TNT. For that, we're sad. But I'm proud to say for the last time, thanks for watching us. It's the NBA on TNT.
He was choked up because that's a long time. That is a long time, 36 years. And it's Turner for him. As he says, it's Turner. But they're going to continue to do the show in Atlanta, and they did make the official announcement. So they're going to – ESPN has literally let them call the freaking shots.
Yeah.
They're going to buy them studio space in Atlanta. They get to bring as much of that team as they can retain.
Yeah, it's like McAfee. They let him have the keys, and they're going to let whatever they – I don't know. Did they say what the name is going to be?
They haven't said yet what's going to happen, but they are calling the shots. And let's just say there's going to be a little bit of a turf war.
Oh, I'm sure there will.
Because the boys
it's already started.
Because they are literally calling their shots, saying
it's already started.
The big dogs are in the building, and the NBA crew now at ESPN is going to be feeling the heat.
Now, do you worry that? I think that's the best pregame show. Like, I'll watch that sometimes and not even care about the game. Do you worry that it changes it all?
Their ratings, I said it to you.
Yeah, you've said it before.
Their ratings, 2 of the last 3 seasons, the ratings for that show were higher than the games they led into. People tuned in, watched the show, and then tuned out.
I don't think it's going to change because, first and foremost, like ESPN has allowed Pat McAfee to continue his show, right, where he curses and stuff like that. They don't
do too much.
Sometimes they say things that make us laugh that people
get called into the principal's office.
Yeah.
They get called into the principal's office, but the amount of money that show makes and everything.
Yeah.
And the amount of Emmys it wins. And Ernie is such a great...
So I was about to say, that's beautiful of Ernie, because Ernie's getting emotional, and...
Because Ernie's leaving Turner after 36 years.
Right. Like,
And he's still going to work with Turner.
He still has his show, which it's not like he's no longer on the show and that's why he's getting emotional. It's just his loyalty to Turner, which is a beautiful thing.
And he's still going to work with Turner on events out of Atlanta. So they all got to literally call their shots. They're like, I ain't moving.
Yeah.
We're not going to Connecticut. We're not going to New York. Come to us.
And you know what? It's great for ESPN because they are so in on basketball.
It's going to
that this is big for them.
It's going to crush it, but there's going to be some bruised egos.
Oh, absolutely, there will be. Kendrick Perkins and Barkley
and Shaq didn't help.
Shaq didn't help. John sent me a funny video.
Oh yeah, Shaq didn't help.
Go ahead, let's hear it.
No, he has to edit it. They would have to be
edited up.
Shaq literally, you didn't hear it? Shaq didn't literally. He just literally said, he goes, I just want to let everybody know at our new network, the big boys are coming. We're coming in the door, and we're going to be doing our show our way. And they got it all in writing, by the way, that ESPN executives cannot tell them, like, can't call them in and go, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that.
Right.
That isn't politically correct. That isn't. They literally got everything in writing.
I think it'll be better off for it.
I think ESPN will benefit from it.
ESPN will benefit from it.
There are going to be some butthurt NBA coverage people that they're going to literally be like, they aren't on our show. They're not coming on our show.
Speaking of butthurt, I'm sure you guys can relate to Scotty Scheffler yesterday after he won the Memorial Tournament. His son had a nice surprise waiting for him after his wife handed off his kid on national television and was picked up by a hot mic. Take a listen to the surprise Scotty Scheffler's son had waiting for him.
It's so much fun watching Megan. He pooped all over his back, so be prepared. Sorry.
Poop all over his back, and he had to go and pick up his kid.
Yes.
Now, I can't relate to this at all. I'm sure you guys can.
You will.
The full diaper. It was funny. So one of my buddies, his wife's due in September, and so we were just talking about fatherhood and stuff like that. And he was asking me about like diaper stuff because he's gonna have a boy.
Sure.
He's wondering like, does
and boys are worse with that stuff.
Does the pee sometimes? Like, when you're changing, is there pee? And I'm like, yeah. And he's asking me about the number 2. And there was a time I understand there's probably people eating breakfast, so I'll be careful. Where we were eating. And he went in his diaper, and I didn't realize it was on my hands as I was eating.
Oh no, that's terrible. Yeah, you got to be careful.
By the way, speaking of Scotty Scheffler, crazy tweet from FanDuel yesterday. Since May 4th, all right, we're almost 1 month removed.
Okay,
all right, today's June 2nd. Scotty Scheffler has won 3 tournaments.
That's incredible.
The Colorado Rockies have won 3 baseball games.
Wow.
Think about that for a second. Tournaments, four rounds, many golfers.
That's
He's won
amazing.
3 in less than a month. The Rockies have won 3 games, and they play every day.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Embarrassment to the sport of baseball.
It is.
All right, coming up next, athletes are humans too, Johnny. So that means they can get scared of an opponent? The NFC Championship game was over before it started. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A weekend to forget for the Phils. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies wrapped up their series with the Milwaukee Brewers yesterday with a 5-2 loss, which completed the sweep for the Brewers. A costly error by Trey Turner in the 7th inning ultimately did the Phillies in. In the series, the Phils were outscored 28-11 in the 3 games. Luckily for us all, that series is now over with. The Phils have an off day today before heading up to Toronto to begin a series with the Blue Jays tomorrow. Zach Wheeler is going to be on the mound for that one, hopefully stop the bleeding. The Eagles will once again be on the practice field for OTAs again this week before mandatory minicamp opens up next Tuesday, June 10th. We'll continue to keep you updated on all things Birds as the week progresses right here on The Fanatic. And over the weekend, we found out the matchup for the NBA Finals as the Indiana Pacers they knocked out the New York Knicks on Saturday. The Pacers now travel to Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder for Game 1 this Thursday of the NBA Finals, which we will be broadcasting live right here on The Fanatic as we will the entire NBA Finals. This update was brought to you by Extreme Experience. Give Dad the ultimate driving experience in a Ferrari, Lamborghini, or Porsche on a real racetrack. Extreme Experience hits Atlanta Motorsports Park July 10th through 13th. Save 25% for Father's Day. ExtremeExperience.com. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the NBA Finals. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Philadelphia Sports.
the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah, walking on the sand, no care, surfing in the sun, so free, just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you. Surfboard ready, time to ride. Feel the freedom, feel the tide. Summer on the beach, oh yeah. Walking on the sand, no care. Surfing in the sun, so free. Just the beach, the waves and me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sunny days and ocean blue. Waves are calling me and you.
Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. All right, let's get a couple text messages here on our Phillies discussion. Obviously, we've had a lot of that following the being swept by the Brewers and the ugly day Saturday. And then, of course, it's now been 4 straight losses. First time since 2022, courtesy of Matt Gelb, I saw that, where the Phillies have lost 4 straight games at Citizens Bank Park. And this just 1 week after John tells us that they're the first team in MLB history to win 70 of 100 games at home.
How about that? Like
It's unreal. Right at like a 1 week later, or not even 1 week.
You know what you don't do? You don't mention the hot streak. You don't talk about it. He jinxed it.
Somebody jinxed it.
I stole it and I bogarted it, but I always accredit. The great Scott Fransky. So don't give me crap.
The kiss of death.
How dare you, John?
Please.
But so you're blaming Scott. So you are saying he did jinx it.
Look, no, Scott didn't jinx it. Scott just is a great source.
You just said don't blame me for the jinx.
Scott is a great source of information. First of all, jinxes are stupid.
Sometimes I think you waver on whether or not you believe in jinxes.
No, I don't believe in jinxes. That's stupid.
I'm just saying.
Ridiculous jinxes.
All right. What do we got on the text line about the Phillies?
We won't have any more jinx talk.
What do we got on the Phillies? And then we will play you some fascinating audio that I can't wait to play. But what do you got?
We got Alex in Warrington checking in saying, how in the world does Rob Thomson or Dave Dombrowski just watch Jesus Luzardo give up 12 runs? How did they not take him out after 7 runs? Angry emoji face. They completely killed his chance for a Cy Young with his ERA jump. A complete malpractice by both manager and GM.
Now, hold on a second. You didn't completely kill
Hobo, first off, not GM.
Oh, boy, here we
Hobo.
go.
You didn't completely kill his chances at Cy Young. If he goes out there and pitches...
No, he did.
If he goes out there and has like 4 or 5 straight starts where he's blanking
He's going to be
teams.
digging out of this. No, he's not. He's digging out of too big a hole now.
If he has 4 or 5 straight starts where he's throwing scoreless innings after scoreless innings, maybe. All right?
Oh, now it's a maybe. No, he killed him. He crushed him.
All right. And so, again, if you don't care about individual awards, why are you upset?
I'm not... Again, you're making an argument for me that I'm not making. He cares about it. You don't think he cared about that? You don't think Andrew,
if he cares more about his individual statistic and not how he harmed the team on Saturday?
I think every single Major League Baseball player that I heard talk on this subject disagrees with you.
Okay.
I think every single one of them said, this is something you want to be careful of because players do care and players want to know. You don't just let them. There's certain players you let eat it.
All right, so instead of 3 1/3 where he allows 12 runs, it's 2 2/3 where he allows 8.
Yes.
That's still a horrible day.
No, it's a horrible day, but you get him out before he totally wets the freaking bed and lets it go down.
He already wet the bed.
No, he does. It was terrible.
But when are you going to take him out? Because it was 4-0 when he had the balk.
Then it was 7.
The balk, which
it was 7.
So the 3-run home run.
Then it was 7. Right, perfect time. 7. You don't have it today. It's 7. That's it. You don't have it. And I'm not going to let you just totally destroy your stat line for the rest of the year. You've been our guy. And we have pitched you amazing amounts of pitches. And you've been a guy who's already hit you're already hitting innings limits. You've been unbelievable.
My question, and it could be he just isn't stretched out enough. Why is Joe Ross only going an inning in 2/3?
That's another thing.
So he's supposed to be like remember he was a spot starter with the Nationals, or he's a guy that can go long. You're down 12. The Phillies have a run yet? 12-1, right? You're down 12-1. Well, why is he done after an inning in 2/3?
Don't ask. Because you're not going to get an answer. You're going to get it's baseball. It's baseball. That's what happens. Christopher Robin. That's what we get. He's too much.
I guess because he hasn't pitched more than 2 innings all season long.
And you don't have a guy stretched out? You seriously?
He's supposed to be your long man.
Joe Ross,
is anyone looking at Joe Ross as
yes,
an important part of your bullpen? No, he's the guy that's supposed to eat up innings. Why did he only go an inning in 2/3?
It's unbelievable.
That's the Luzardo thing. I'm not upset about. Joe Ross.
Again,
Joe
I'm
Ross
just gonna
only
say
going
to you,
an inning 2/3. I go, why?
I'm going to say to you, I swear to you, is that again, I'm being this thing. I don't care if I am. I don't care if you are. When I hear Major League Baseball players speak on it,
I played in high school.
Yeah, thanks. That when I hear them speak on it, then I take notice because I know that they say it matters, that it matters to them, that kind of crap bothers them.
You know what? But here's the deal. Let me just see. I love you, John.
Okay.
If there was a report that came out Sunday morning, source told me Jesus Luzardo is furious that
he's not going to say anything.
No, I know, but you would get upset with him for being upset about his individual statistics.
No, I wouldn't. On that situation,
I think you would be.
No, I would be upset about him letting it get out. I would be upset about him letting it get out. I totally understand. I'd be like, are you kidding me? You let them crawl on my back for a few months. You overpitch me. By the way, you overpitch me by an organization that is so freaking worried about everybody. We don't want guys making their major league debut. For whatever reason, Crawford's not up here. And major league executives don't even understand why Justin Crawford's not up here. Playing in the major leagues.
What do you mean by overpitch?
He has been overpitched innings by what people going, they're really using him a lot.
John,
a lot of innings.
John, there was a game earlier this year where you were upset that they pulled him too early.
No, but he's wanted the 100. They had a plan for him that they have overdone his plan. They've even talked about it. They pitched him more than they thought they would.
I have the Marlins game here when he threw 88 pitches and it was 7 innings. I still remember the next day you were upset that he came out.
Because he didn't want to come out. But they've pitched him more than they said. They even talked about it on the broadcast that they used him more innings than they wanted to.
But like you're saying that he's overpitched. You wanted him to pitch more. Now you're saying he's overpitched. Now you're upset that his statistics.
Andrew, what I want and what their plan is, you're conflating the two. I'm talking about what they say and what they do.
Well, I'm trying to figure out this conversation. Am I talking to you or am I talking to the Phillies and their plan?
No, I don't. What I tell doesn't matter. What they say and what they do. This organization, what they say and what they do are different. It doesn't matter what I think. What I think is just an opinion on a radio show. What they say and what they do. They said they had a plan for Jesus Luzardo. They knew that he's a guy that has had injury history in the past. They had his innings limit. They talked about innings and wondering about pushing him past and how many innings he pitches. And let's make sure we're treating him carefully because we want him to be able to go the long term. And they talked about that plan from spring training. And then they start pushing him 100 pitches, 100. I mean, they start doing things.
But don't they have plans like that for every other pitcher that they try to, not toss out in that game and they try to eat a couple more innings out of Jesus Luzardo? Like, it's not just his plan, it's everybody else.
Joe Ross? No. They don't have a plan like that for Joe Ross.
That's what they told us after the game. Brandon, sometimes you have to eat the innings even though you don't want to because some guys are tired from the Braves series.
Brandon, they don't have a plan for Joe Ross. I'm just telling you right now.
Yeah, they
don't care.
I know he doesn't have a plan, but that's what the Phillies told us after the game.
I understand because they're telling you something that's not true. They don't have a plan for Joe Ross because you know what? If Joe Ross delivers your UPS package next week, they don't give a damn. If Jesus Luzardo...
He doesn't deliver anything.
Thank you. If Jesus Luzardo can't get them to the finish line this year, they're screwed. There's a difference. You have a plan for one guy. You don't have a plan for another. You let certain guys eat it. If Taijuan Walker...
Right, you let him eat it.
You let him eat it. You don't let Taijuan. You don't let Jesus Luzardo eat it.
But this whole thing wouldn't be a conversation if he had a good game and he pitched the 6 innings that he pitched. Like nobody would have cared.
Well, no, if he pitched a great game, you're not.
You're not complaining about the innings limit if he actually pitched a good game.
You're letting him. He's been a guy. How many times do you hear a manager go, "We wanted to get him," and I've heard Rob Thomson say it. We wanted to get him out of the game because we wanted him to leave with a good headspace that he had a good outing.
Yeah, well, he was already having a bad outing. He was already having a bad outing.
You don't want him to leave with his career worst outing.
But he was already having a bad outing, so they said we needed him to eat a few innings for us because of how many innings their bullpen has already pitched this week.
And again, all I'm going to say to you is I love that you think that way. And again, I didn't find a major league between MLB Network, ESPN, even on
respectfully, I don't have to agree with Ricky Pitalico.
No, I got you, I'm hearing them all.
Love you, Ricky.
But these guys know baseball players. I think they think differently than us. What we think is one thing. What they think is baseball players.
Well, then how come the manager doesn't think is a baseball player?
What do you mean?
It was Rob Thompson's decision.
I think that the decisions that have been made. I'm going to tell you sometimes, I think asleep at the wheel. Asleep at the wheel is what I'm going to tell you. That's how I feel. It's like I wish somebody'd nudge.
Well, it wasn't asleep at the wheel when he had a reason behind it. His reason behind it was he needed him to eat innings because they had played a lot of games in previous days, including a doubleheader on Friday.
I'm going to say, if you think that's good reasoning, that's where we would part ways on that. I don't think it's good reasoning. I really don't.
All right. That's where we'll part ways.
Absolutely.
All right, coming up next, we'll play this audio for you. The NFC Championship game was over before it started. Also, speaking of blowouts, I had an interesting conversation with my buddies Saturday, because the game was Saturday night.
Over some beers?
Plenty.
Good.
About the ticket buying public when you go to a game like that. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We want to hear from you. So text us at 610. Was the NFC Championship game over before it started? So this weekend, I saw it when I was down the shore, and you sent it to me this morning or yesterday. So we got the same timeline going. Mike Florio was doing his show, and he was talking about the Commanders, who a lot of people are saying will be a good team this year, right?
His favorite show of our midday show.
And
favorite team.
They were, a cool story last year, right? If you could put your Eagles fandom aside, it was a cool story of a young quarterback, the wild ends to some of those games, the Chicago Bears, Hail Mary, like that was insane. And then the divisional round where they go to Detroit and spank the Lions, right?
Yes.
Like that was a bludgeoning. Like they beat the crap out of the Lions. Obviously, Ben Johnson having Jameson Williams throw a pass was stupid when you're down 2 scores.
Remember, he believes in explosive
plays only, man.
Yeah, he didn't want that.
You exploded your team's chances of winning with that play.
He's going to be fun to beat. Then
the Commanders come to Philly. And we saw it was the opposite. The Eagles spanked the Commanders. Here was Mike Florio last week talking about sort of the vibe within the Commanders building leading up to the NFC Championship game.
The day of the NFC Championship, someone I know who is very well plugged in said the Commanders know they're going to get their asses kicked today, and they're just kind of bracing for it. And it's like, come on, man. I mean, no, I know people in the building, they know what's coming. And it's like, well, maybe they're just preparing for the worst. Like, no, they know that the Eagles are dramatically better than they are.
Could you imagine? Like, I get it. You've been the bad team going against the really good team. You're like,
and you won the 2 miracle home games, the Dallas game and the Bears game,
right?
When you should have lost both of them.
I get it. Like we've all played a sport where you're playing the better team. And you're like, all right, this is going to be tough. But the NFC, you're 1 win away from the Super Bowl, and that's your mentality.
I think that
and we don't know who. It might not have been players.
I absolutely believe that could be, again, it could be a broadcaster. I don't believe, I'll tell you this. I've known Mike a long time. I don't believe for a second that he made that up.
No, I don't think so either.
But it could have been a broadcaster.
Right. That doesn't mean it was Jaden Daniels.
It could have been, right. I don't believe Jaden Daniels says something.
Right.
I don't believe one of the big starting players believes that. But I believe an executive could believe it. An executive could think it and go, dude, we're going into a buzzsaw.
Yeah.
We're going in there. Philly's just so good.
And that's just something you don't say out loud.
Yeah.
And then this story comes out, and look what happens. Now
and
everyone's going to try to figure out who
it
was. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I absolutely believe it could be that. But that mentality, I think the Commanders know exactly who they were.
Yeah.
And now they changed out so many faces. I'm telling you, I will be on the island and tell you, so many miracle things happened to get them to 12 wins last year. They are not ready to repeat it.
You're on island. I'm with you.
They're not ready to repeat it.
When the season was happening last year.
Good team.
All the 1-year contracts they had, sometimes you bat 1,000. Like the 2017 Eagles.
And they're a good team. Like, I'm not saying they're garbage. I'm not saying that but they're a good team. They're not the Eagles.
Right.
And they're not the Eagles this year. They're not ready to be the Eagles.
All right, I have a question. Speaking of blowouts, because that was a blowout, and
like the one that Scotty Scheffler had to deal with.
Saturday was a blowout. No, not that one. Those are gross. I have a question. This is something that I would love for people to chime in on for the rest of the show, because I kind of need like the lighthearted conversation on the side of what this Phillies team did to us this weekend. Let's say you're at a game. Let's say you're at Saturday's game.
Okay.
Right? And the game's playing out the way that it is. What do?
Leave.
All right, so you leave.
I am leaving when it was 12-1.
You're out.
It's what, 7th inning?
Yeah. No, it was 12-1 before even then.
Yeah, it was 12-1 before that.
I understand, but no. When it gets to like the 7th inning, I'm done.
It was 12-1 through 4.
No, I understand.
It became 17-1.
No, I'm done. I'm done. Gone.
So I'm trying to think, like,
absolutely gone. If you don't care enough to entertain me, I'm gone.
Well, and that's the thing. So, like, I'm trying to think, what would I do? So when I was a kid, there was one game that I ever remember leaving, like, early. And it was me, my dad, and my mom, my sister. They were one of the few games where the whole family went.
Okay.
My sister wasn't in the sport. And the Phillies were playing the Mets, team that I hate. And it was at Citizens Bank Park, so it was after 04. And the Mets were up 9-0 in like the first or second inning. And,
First or second inning?
dude, it was
Oh, that's
abysmal.
terrible.
And we had nice seats.
Oh, no.
It was like my dad got them from his boss.
Oh, no.
They were right behind like the third, the away team dugout, like a couple rows up.
So you're thinking this is going to be a great night.
And it's 9-0.
That's the worst.
And so there's my sister who doesn't care. My mom's like, oh my God, how long? This is pre-pitch clock, right? So my mom's like, man, how long are we going to be here? And my dad's looking at me and like, I don't want to leave, but like,
you don't want to leave it that, like, you don't want to leave in the second inning.
yeah,
I would say there's no
I'm at
way.
a ball game, you know?
I would say to the girls, there's no way I'm leaving a baseball game at that point.
So I think we left maybe
Seventh inning?
I know, but I think
at that
we left
point, I would leave.
we left like third or fourth inning. And
That's too early.
We may have gone to like McFadden's to eat or something like
Okay.
that because it was still open at the time.
See, now I would maybe say, girls, Liv, you and I'll go play some blackjack. Mom, go play some slots. We may walk over to live.
Yeah, but live casino, it was still the Hollywood Inn. Or,
No, I understand.
What was the?
That was Ron Jaworski's Holiday
yeah,
Inn.
Yeah, Holiday Inn.
Yeah, and I would say, but today, that's what I would say.
Hey, kiddo, you want to go to the turf club?
I'd say to my daughter, you want to play some blackjack with Dad?
Go bet on the ponies?
I'm telling my future kid, let's go out to the wiffle ball stadium in the back and watch
but
better
see,
baseball than whatever
I
this
didn't
is.
have that wiffle ball stadium then.
Yeah, back then you didn't have it.
And so I started thinking, like we were talking, me and my buddies, we were talking about, like my one friend's like, well, I would probably just go to Pass and Stowe, which is a great spot.
Oh, it's
inside.
always great.
But here's the deal: I'm paying money toward the ballpark.
I got you.
That has the team that is currently getting bludgeoned 12-1.
Yeah, but you couldn't
out
go
of
to-
spite. I don't want to go to you.
But you couldn't go to Pass and Stowe unless you were paying to go to that game.
Right, so you're already in the building.
So you're getting your money's worth of that.
I'd rather go to Chickies and Pete's and give Pete my money because he's not disappointing me.
Yeah.
I'd rather go to the Palladium and give them my money.
What do you get me? One of those, what'd you get me that last time?
The
Is
Kona.
it the Kona?
Kona, man.
Oh,
Delicious.
yeah. Pass and Stowe, get me one of those Konas. I can forget about the 14-1 very quickly and enjoy the nice day.
Might need 12 of those to forget.
Right.
Exactly.
So if you're at a game, and let's just say it's Saturday. Let's say you were actually at Saturday, or if you can pretend you're at the game Saturday. What do you do when it's a 12-1 game? Because you spent the money. Like,
I'm
that's
out.
the thing. Like, I paid my hard-earned money to get into this building just to watch this.
If you're staying till the ninth inning, you're glutton for
No,
punishment.
but then again, if you're one of those fans that looks down on fans leaving when they're winning, you have to stick it out.
Is that to keep the same energy?
It is to keep the same energy.
All right,
You have to stick it out.
So start texting some of those answers. What would you do, or what did you do if you were at the game on Saturday during a blowout like that? Are you out? Are you trying to find something to do within the building? Let us know. 610-632-0975. It's Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A weekend to forget for the Phils. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phils wrapped up their series with the Milwaukee Brewers yesterday with a 5-2 loss, which completed the sweep for the Brewers. A costly error by Trey Turner in the seventh inning ultimately did the Phillies in. In the series, the Phils were outscored 28-11 in the three games. Luckily for us all, that series is now over with. The Phils have an off day today before heading up to Toronto to begin a series with the Blue Jays tomorrow. Zach Wheeler is going to be on the mound for that one, so hopefully he stops the bleeding. The Eagles will once again be on the practice field for OTAs this week before mandatory minicamp opens up next Tuesday, June 10th. We'll continue to keep you updated on all things all birds right here on the Fanatic all week if any new storylines come out of OTAs. And over the weekend, we found the matchup for the NBA Finals. The Indiana Pacers knocked out the New York Knicks on Saturday. The Pacers are now going to travel to Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder for Game 1 this Thursday of the NBA Finals, which we will be broadcasting live right here on the Fanatic, as we will the entire series. This update was brought to you by Moyer Indoor and Outdoor Services. Follow Andrew Salciunas' lead and get a jump on a lush green lawn this spring right now. Go to emoyer.com for free estimates. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the NBA Finals, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Bill Colarulo.
They're good enough that
8:55 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, I think I found the game that I went to with my dad, my mom, and my sister. The one time I ever remember leaving a game super early.
And you're talking like you left when?
Early, like second or third inning.
Okay.
And I'm going to guess it's the third inning because on May 10th, 2006, so this is before the Phillies were starting to show life, right? 07 was the year they make the playoffs. The Phillies hosted the New York Mets, and the Phillies were trailing 10-0 in the third inning.
10-0?
Yeah. So Corey Lytle, rest in peace, was the starter for the Phillies that day. He went 2 innings, allowed 7 hits, walked 1, 5 earned runs. 5 earned runs, 8 runs total. So the defense didn't help him out. And then remember Aaron Foltz?
Yes.
Aaron Foltz, left-handed pitcher, he came in for relief to try to stop the bleeding. He went 3 innings, allowed 4 earned runs on 7 hits.
Wow.
So it was 10-0 in the third inning. I could still picture. We were sitting on the third baseline. It was a nice day in May, right? On a Wednesday. And my mom and my sister were like, all right, how long is this game going to go?
See, now you
went home.
Now here's another one. You two are both too young to remember this. The Phillies once trailed the Pirates. I think it was 10-0 in a game. And the Pirates broadcaster said,
oh, yeah, they said this game's over. If they come back, we'll walk.
I will walk home.
Yeah, I'm a historian.
And in the offseason, for charity,
yeah,
he walked from Veterans Stadium to Three Rivers Stadium.
That's actually awesome for backing it up.
He walked.
I give him a lot of credit for
charity.
That's actually kind of awesome.
Which is a big thing, but he did it. He had to walk back, which is crazy.
Here you go, your Phillies lineup that day.
Oh, jeez.
J-Roll, Chase, Aaron Rowan, your 3-hole hitter. Bobby.
Aaron Rowan was your 3-hole hitter?
Yep. Bobby was your cleanup hitter. Pat the Bat. Ryan Howard in the 6-hole. David Bell batted 7th. Chooch.
You hated David Bell, right?
I hated David Bell. It's the first time I heard the word bum.
That's Rookie of the Year, Ryan Howard, 06, right?
Yes. Yeah, that would be correct.
You hated David Bell.
I hated David Bell. And he sucked as a manager with the Cincinnati Reds, and that's why Frank Cona's there now. All right, what do we got on the text line on any of our topics? I'm curious, has anyone chimed in about what you do when you're at a game when it's really bad? Because you would just leave. I hate leaving early because I paid to be in there. Like, that's the thing that bothers me. Like, I paid to get in here. Like, I get my inner child is doing the one more inning, Dad.
Okay, but if the game is totally not entertaining,
I know, but you're there.
Nah, it's not enjoyable. I'll go again.
But think about this. See, no, but here you go. I'll go again. We are very fortunate because we have we have connections. We have
sure
media passes. Right. Like, I'm trying to think back to like when I was a kid. Like, there wasn't always a go again.
When I was a kid, I used to go to probably 2 games a year. One of them was always with the Italian American Club, little club out of Ardmore.
Right.
On the bus trip.
So you didn't want to rush to leave regardless of the game.
It was always a giveaway game on a Sunday.
Yeah.
I remember one was bat day.
That's awesome.
And they gave you a legitimate bat.
So try
on the way into the stadium, they gave you a bat.
Try to be Little Johnny again. Would you want to leave?
17-1, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Or do you just want to walk around the vet and see what kind of nefarious things you could get into?
See, we didn't walk around the vet. You didn't do that. We weren't raised by a generation of parents that says, "Oh, it's fun for Timmy to run around the tables in a restaurant."
You guys just became those parents.
You sat where you were told to sit. No,
that's why you became those parents.
I let Cooper on the ramp when there's nobody around. Why not?
What ramp?
The ramp. Like if you're walking up to the upper seats.
Oh no, that's fine.
Yeah,
no, that's fine. He's not bothering anybody there.
I don't let anyone run. I don't let him run around a restaurant, but I let him run around. That's what I'm saying. We're wrong with that.
We had a restaurant the other day where parents thought it was really cute to have the kids running around the restaurant.
Oh yeah, man.
I was like,
I once tore up one of the putting greens at Marion for being the kid that was running around as a 5-year-old. Well, I'll tell you guys that some other
not
time.
Good. That is not good.
I also got to correct myself. MVP year was 06, so that was the year before he won Rookie of the Year.
05,
so Chunas, little Chunas, middle school Chunas, left out on an MVP season.
See, I could have stayed for that entire game where Ryan Howard ended up going 2 for 4.
Was it your sister that was being the pain in the butt that wanted to get out?
I think it was mom and sister. Yeah.
Well, when the mom and sister combination get into it,
yeah, you're done.
You're done.
Especially when it's 10-0.
Because dad can only put up with so much.
What do we got on the text line?
We got a first-time texter checking in saying, I would head straight to Delilah's. Good for him, I guess.
What?
Well, don't they have the promotion? Ticket to the game, free entry, right?
I think they do.
You got your wife and your daughter at the game. What are you talking about?
No, we don't have to say if you're. No, the scenario is if you're at the game. We're not bringing the whole Kincade crew. Like if you're at the game, let's just say you're there with a buddy, right? Or if you, whatever, you're there by yourself.
You didn't see enough cheeks at the game, I guess, by the team. But damn, you had to go see some more.
You need to be uplifted, you know?
Something uplifting.
Seriously.
Another first-time texter checking in saying, I wouldn't be in my seat watching the game. I would stay, but I would walk around the stadium, get some food, multiple beers, get my steps in.
But that's the thing. Multiple beers. You are now giving money to the team that is making you miserable. Kind of.
Which they're not going to use to improve the team in the offseason.
Exactly. So, like, to me, that's why I almost would sit there and do nothing out of spite. Because if I buy a beer, that just funds Middleton's pockets.
I like
in a
Greg.
17-1 ball game.
Greg sent along a note today. He goes, John, please, you're a religious man. Pray for me. Because if I hear Connor Thomas later on this afternoon make an excuse for Trey Turner, like he loves to do, I may just have to go crazy. I said, I hope you don't go crazy.
Where is that Connor guy? You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPEN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. What else we got on the text line on any of our comments?
All right, we also got, what do you want another, would he leave early or do you want somebody on the main topic?
What do you do? What do you do at the ball game when it's 17-1?
All right, we got Mike from Phoenixville says, I was there Saturday.
Okay.
We left after the fourth inning. I believe it was 12-0. When we left, it was 17 by the time we got in the car, which is terrible. We did get the tickets for free, though, so that helped.
Well, that helps. So, like, if you're going for free, it's a lot easier to be like, all right, this just wasn't our day. You know, it was nice to be here. We had the hot dog and the lemonade and all that kind of stuff. But if you spend your hard-earned money, like, imagine somebody, like, I think back to, there's been 2 times where I've bought my dad, like, really nice tickets as, like, a Father's Day present or, you know, whatever.
Okay.
And I still remember we sat behind home plate for a Phillies-Marlins doubleheader. Just worked out. There was a rain, so we got both games because this was.
And you went for both.
We went for. I mean, we were in the Diamond Club behind home plate, right? So I wasn't leaving. You know what I mean? If I spent that money and it's 17-1, I'm not leaving. Like I'm right behind home plate. Like I understand they have the little club that you can go to at the bar.
Yeah.
And the people that are there all the time and have all the money in the world, they're there if it's a bad game, right? They go sit in the air conditioning. But if I did a nice experience, like could you imagine if you dropped a couple bills for you and your dad or for you and a buddy who maybe they're getting married or whatever? No, I'm not. If I'm sitting right behind home plate, I don't care what the score is. I'm staying the whole game.
I can't do that.
I dropped that kind of coin?
17-1? No. Why?
Brendan, if you drop
prove a point,
if you drop that kind of coin,
I'm not leaving, dude. Like I'm staying there to hopefully strike up a conversation or two with some of the players on accident,
right?
Because they're so bored, not interested in the game anymore. Like,
believe me, they're not talking to you. They're not talking.
All right, let me ask you this. Hold on. All right, so you mentioned the tickets were free. So I mentioned earlier my buddy whose wife is due in September. When they got married, a bunch of us chipped in for Diamond Club seats.
Okay.
Because they're both big Phillies fans, both him and his wife. What if you were gifted for your wedding, right?
All right.
Tickets behind home plate, which are not cheap.
No, they're not.
Those things are
they're
not
expensive.
Cheap. Plus, you get like the drink package.
Sure.
Because we wanted to really do it up for them. It was their wedding present. Do you leave? You didn't buy the tickets,
It's
but
17-1?
you were gifted the tickets.
It's 17-1.
I would feel guilty.
Are you telling me like 7th inning? 17-1? I'm out of there.
I would feel guilty.
I wouldn't.
I would.
You have to stay until they cut the alcohol off.
Yes.
And that's fair after that.
Or you can go in, or you just say we went inside.
Yeah, I would feel guilty. If somebody bought me tickets like that and I bounced early, I would feel terrible.
I'd say, I wish my team cared more to show up and play.
But you don't care about the gift you got?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wish my friends cared more about me.
No, I don't have to do that.
I wish they got me tickets to a better game.
If your friends bought you tickets, if your friends brought you a dinner gift card to a terrible restaurant, and you were having a horrible
Yeah, but if
meal.
I knew the restaurant was terrible, that's
If you-
one thing.
No, you don't know the restaurant's supposed to be great.
Oh, okay.
And you go and sit there, and the appetizer sucks, and the service sucks, and your entree is terrible, and it comes out cold, and the
You
service
stayed
sucks.
for the whole meal.
You don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You get
What
up
do
and
you
you
mean?
leave. You get up and you leave.
After you
dine
ate
and
it,
dash?
how
No,
do you
you're
know it
sitting
sucked
there.
unless you ate it?
Because I said you've had.
So you
the
had the
service
apps,
is
they
the
had
service
the
is terrible.
So
the
in other words, you
appetizer
stayed
stink,
for the whole
everything is
thing.
stink. You've stayed till like the 7th inning of the meal, and you go, you know what? This is atrocious. We're leaving. This is terrible. We're
If you
getting up
ate
and
the
we're leaving.
entree, you stayed for the whole meal.
You taste you're done. You're like, it's done. We're out of here. We're not sticking around. Run. Get out.
All right, what else we got on the text line, Gunner?
This is a good one. We got Andrew.
Hello.
You're frustrating me so much right now. Johnny is so correct here, and I never agree with John.
See?
Damn it.
That's another I never.
What's Hopper did to Jesus is complete BS.
It's ridiculous what he did. There's no excuse for it.
Sorry, man. You got to eat innings. It's not my fault that you're pitching like crap today. All these fans are leaving because of you. You got to deal with it.
That's terrible. There's just no excuse
Oh, no.
for it.
Jesus might not get his Cy Young award. Wah.
Yeah, we do.
unbelievable.
We praise the Eagles for saying Saquon. It's not about you. It's about the team. And now it's not about the team. It's about Jesus.
It's about
and his
Jesus and his
side of it.
individual. But other baseball
not about
players
it.
feel this way. I don't care.
It's like every baseball player who understands the game. You guys, I hear constantly
Right.
from high
I
school.
don't know baseball.
I constantly hear from high school baseball players and college baseball players telling me about the game. When you hear from pro baseball players telling you this is unexcusable.
and
Heaven forbid.
And if Jesus Luzardo said something, you would be the first one to be pissed off about
Yes,
it.
guy, what you can keep it private. And I said, keep it private. I guarantee you, he's not happy. I promise you, he's not. But he's classy enough not to throw his manager
If
underneath the bus.
Luzardo gives up a run next game, I hope they pull him right away because the ERA will go up.
Now you're being ridiculous. He's carried you through he's been your best pitcher,
Yes.
and you let him eat it.
And he needed to for him.
And you would never have let Wheeler do that. They would never have let Wheeler do that.
They would have let Nola do it. We know that for a fact.
Well, Nola, he's had outing after outing after outing.
Coming up next, we'll keep on checking our text line on these topics. But also, people are going to point to one game to try to make a point. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Mike Missanelli.
If there's something that's going to prevent me from getting to the World Series and my
these kids out of here, Ray. Trying to do my job. Just kidding.
Why do we have so many kids in the studio?
Half of them just looked at me and I think pooped their pants. No, Ray's doing some good stuff.
None of them looked intimidated by you in the least.
Hey.
And they all weighed exactly the same amount as you.
That's might be true.
They're all serious.
Ray's got some kids checking out the spot and learning about radio and all that kind of fun stuff. So
that's awesome.
It's really cool. I always love that kind of stuff.
Ray does a lot of that.
He does. I was checking our YouTube chat during the commercial break about what some of the things people do during the ball game if there's a blowout. And I saw Marino. Marino.
What does Marino do?
Almost bought tickets to the game, and then decided, you know what, not today.
Saturday.
And he is so happy that he didn't do it because he said, if my wife and I went, I would want to stay because I paid to go.
Can I throw my nephew Chris under the bus?
Sure.
Chris Amicone, raised in Westchester, Pennsylvania, supposed to be like a 4-for-4 guy and everything. So Saturday, it's his brother's wedding reception at the house from the wedding in Italy.
Right.
So they're having the reception for everybody who didn't go to Italy back at the house. So Andrew, congratulations to Andrew and Jess. They had a big party at the house. So there's a sports TV on Saturday.
Okay.
Chris has soccer on.
Yeah.
I said, what the hell's soccer on for, Chris? He goes, I think it's my number 2 sport now, Uncle John.
Oh, he thinks it now. Okay.
I think it's my number 2. I said, okay, so Birds won. Birds won. And he thinks soccer is number 2.
Hey, if that's
I
what
said,
he
for
likes,
God's sakes, like what happened to you?
If that's what he likes, that's what he likes.
What happened to
now,
him?
what you have to do is, here's the problem.
No, he's watching international soccer.
Here's
he
the
wasn't
problem.
watching the Union.
Here's the problem for Chris. So this was this TV?
It was a prominent TV. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
The
The Phillies are playing.
You gotta put the TV's got to go for the masses. It's like the aux cord, right? Like if you're driving with like 10 people, or in my case 5 people this past weekend, like you got to play somewhere what everybody's gonna like.
I said, come on, Chris, what's going on? What's with the soccer? I didn't even know who was playing.
He can like soccer, that's fine.
That's
but
fine. Well,
you know
that's
that
it.
you know that everybody there is not in
Like, come on,
the
Chris.
soccer.
Enough of this soccer stuff. Take it off.
If you like soccer, you like
No,
soccer.
that's fine, but not when he's controlling the clicker,
Correct.
as they say, or the
He got
blinker.
married. Like, it's his
his brother got married.
His brother got married. Yeah.
His brother got married.
That's worse.
Chris is available, though, by the way.
There you go.
So I can pawn off another nephew.
So this is going to happen within the next month or so. That people will use Saturday as to why the Phillies should trade for Rhys Hoskins. You know that's coming, right?
Here we go.
2 for 6 in that game, 2 home runs, 3 RBI. Look, I'm not as like you scoff at it. I don't.
Yeah, because we have we're like the butchers of defense. Right. So you're going to add another bad defensive player to this team? We're a team that is based on starting pitching as their greatest strength. So what do you do when you have a team that has great starting pitching? You defend the field.
Correct.
So instead, what did we do? We built a team that is a bunch of butchers in the field. I don't get it. I don't get the mentality. I don't understand it.
Well, you got one butcher in the field. You got Trey.
Trey is a butcher.
Who's the other?
We have subpar fielders.
Yes. I wouldn't say
whoa. Yesterday, did you see Weston Wilson yesterday?
Okay, well, he's not in the field.
Yeah,
come on, man. He's not part of their plan.
Why are you putting him out there?
He won't play an inning in the playoffs. If he's still on this roster, he would not play.
Why are you putting him out there then?
Because it was it's your Sunday give up.
Oh, got to do the give up game.
The Sunday
because Rob wants to make sure everybody's nice and rested. Oh my gosh!
Thought bullpen guys couldn't go 2 days in a row.
They might be tired. Oh my gosh, that Max Kepler might be tired.
By the way, did you realize that Rhys already has 5 errors this year?
It's unbelievable.
Which leads the league at first base, and he missed time this year, didn't he?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, not the best. But he's the right-handed power bat that.
No, I understand it. Look,
that people are looking.
If you told me that this was a good defensive team, and you were just adding him, that's fine. But no, nope.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't say there's butchers. Here's where you have your problems, right? Castellanos, who does a fine job when he's
really improved
when
too,
he gets
as a
to the
defensive
ball.
player.
Now, here's the thing: take it with a grain of salt. He doesn't cover much ground. When he gets the ball, he makes the play. right? And we've
Sure he
seen him make
does.
that sliding catch. It's so funny.
He's not even on my radar.
Right. But there's a reason why Johan Rojas has to cover as much ground as he does, because it's not like Castellanos is. But when Marsh is the guy that's in center field, we see the bad reads all the time. And so that's where you have some of the defensive issues with this baseball club. The only real butcher, though, is Turner.
Turner's just terrible. He's terrible. What's he have, like 35 or 36 errors since he's come here?
Is it really that much?
Oh, I saw the number yesterday. It's horrendous. It's horrendous. He's terrible. But they won't move him because he wants to play shortstop. Because he's a shortstop.
Yeah, but what do? You put Stott there.
Yes, and
then
Stott's
if they're
a better defensive
going to continue to sit Stott every once in a while for Sosa, then you still have to put Turner back at shortstop there, unless you're going to put Sosa
okay,
there.
that's fine. I'll put Turner back at short.
And you think that's going to do him well? The guy, he's struggled mentally before. You think switching him between second base and shortstop somehow going to make him better? It's just going to make him a butcher wherever he goes.
Struggled mentally.
There's too many platoon players on this team.
Oh my God.
There's too many platoon players.
I'm really worried about my $300 million player and him struggling mentally because I'm going to ask him to play shortstop occasionally when he plays second base.
If he's uncomfortable moving around.
Yeah, I'm talking about strictly on the field. Like, obviously, I hope he's mentally healthy with his mental health, obviously. But I'm talking about on the field. I can't afford him to be thinking about it at second and short. That's not going to do him any good.
This is the softest crew.
No.
This is the softest
No, it's sports. It's not soft. There's guys that are platoon players.
Then put him at second and leave him there.
Exactly. There you go.
Then put him there and leave him there.
But that's the thing. Like, there are guys that can be utility players, right? Like,
by the way, Sosa's been terrible since he's come back.
Made a career out of it where you could play left, right, second, short, third. There's some guys that can't handle that.
Like, this is
you talk about how it's soft, but it's not.
This is a very soft team as far as what they want to do, what they're comfortable doing. Well, Kyle wants to bat leadoff. Thankfully, they've finally said, no, he's going to bat cleanup.
This is all around baseball. Rafael Devers has pretty much blown up the Boston Red Sox because he didn't want a new guy coming in and playing his position.
Yeah, this is not just a Phillies thing, John.
This is a big Phillies thing, though.
It might be a lot of teams.
It's a big.
It's a lot. It's a lot of teams. You want to have a problem with today's society? Go for it. All right, coming up next, the Phillies may be off today, but they obviously start again tomorrow with the Blue Jays. On Thursday, they made the right decision. I don't know why it had to take to a second decision, but whatever. We'll talk about that decision next. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A weekend to forget for the Phils. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies wrapped up their series against the Milwaukee Brewers yesterday with a 5-2 loss, which completed the sweep for the Brewers. A costly error by Trey Turner in the seventh inning ultimately did the Phillies in. In the series, the Phillies were outscored 28-11 in the 3 games. Luckily for us all now, that series is over with. The Phils have a day off today before heading up to Toronto to begin a series with the Blue Jays tomorrow. Zach Wheeler is going to be on the mound for that one. Hopefully he can stop the bleeding. The Eagles are once again going to be on the practice field for OTAs this week again before mandatory minicamp opens up next Tuesday, June 10th. We'll continue to keep you updated on all things Birds as the week progresses if any new stories come out of OTAs. And over the weekend, we found out the matchup for the NBA Finals as the Indiana Pacers knocked out the New York Knicks on Saturday. The Pacers travel to Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder of Game 1 of the NBA Finals this Thursday, which will be broadcasted live right here on The Fanatic, as will the entirety of the NBA Finals. This update was brought to you by Macy's Backstage. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? How about essential warm weather styles, $30 and under, like dresses, shoes, bags, men's, and kids' looks. Find the latest trends, new arrivals, and great prices at Macy's Backstage near you. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the NBA Finals, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Ricky Batalico.
There's a schedule out there for everybody. We're going to know when the Braves play.
26 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. All right, first caller, 610-632-0975. We got a pair of tickets to give away here. You'll see comedian Kumail Nanjiani, June 20th at the Excite Center. Tickets for all upcoming events at parkscasino.com. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Parks Casino, this is how you win. So we have a pair each day this week.
I'm so glad you read that. Because that's
Kumail Nanjiani.
That is not easy. That is not an easy read.
I'll be honest, I don't even know if I'm saying it right. But it seems like I'm saying it right.
But you read it with defiance.
Conviction.
And conviction.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. When you do this job,
do it.
Just
read it.
Just believe what you're saying.
Just read it.
Just like, what was the Big Meats thing? You know? It just kept going. You know, you just don't stop. Regardless if it's April Fool's Day or not.
That's great.
You just keep on going. So the first caller, 610-632-0975, will win a pair of tickets to see Kumail Nanjiani at the Excite Center on June 20th. All right, so the Phillies made the decision over the weekend that Taijuan Walker will officially head to the bullpen. They did say a couple weeks ago that they did not want to keep doing the whole, all right, so you're starting this week, but you're going to be in the pen the next week. And so
he was very unhappy with it.
I don't blame him.
And he told them that.
Yeah.
Like behind the scenes, not making a stink. But
right. It's hard. It's just baseball, right? Like guys go through a mental preparation to start versus relief. If you are starting, your warm-up process is different when you're starting versus when you're going into the pen, right? So I don't blame him. And so he still has a job. He's going to go to the bullpen. And Mick Abel will officially be a part of the rotation for now. And he's going to be starting on Thursday. I don't know why they sent him down after the last start. I don't get it. Just to give Taijuan Walker another start. I'm not trying to take shots at Walker. I'm just saying, like, if you think you found something in Mick Abel, why would you?
Because I think they were showcasing him. I think they wanted a showcase start in case they had to make a drastic move to cover for the move in the bullpen. And then they went on a winning streak and they didn't feel the pressure.
Okay, but you could still showcase him by continuing to let him pitch. I mean,
no, but I didn't think
there's going to be teams that are going to keep a close eye, I imagine.
Sure, I don't think they felt the need to. I don't think they felt the need at that point. They wanted him to get a little taste of it.
He was part of the winning, right? Like he outdueled Paul Skeens.
His next start, would it have came against the Rockies?
Yeah,
or
it was
no?
against another bad team.
Yeah. But against the Rockies.
Where he could get, like, that's the thing. Like, it was actually a perfect time to let him kind of get comfortable in Major League Baseball against bad teams. And so he's going to end up pitching on Thursday. And I think that was the right decision. I don't know why they sent him down after that start. Hey, buddy, great start.
Thanks, bud.
Enjoy AAA again. Like, even though
he knows he's going to be pitching in the major leagues next year.
Correct. Yeah.
One way or another.
I don't see. I don't know. It's just I don't know why they.
You mean you don't understand what Dave Dombrowski and this organization's doing?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Then you're okay. What you're doing is what you're finding is it's a different degree, but you're finding more common ground with the people that are overreacting today. And I agree, there are people who are way overreacting. Then there's people who are very pissed off about the past weekend, like I am. But what I'm pissed off is this organization says one thing and does another over and over again. They're brass.
Right, but I'm not going to sit here.
Urgency.
I'm
There's
not
no
going to
urgency.
sit here freaking out about something that's a month and change away.
No, what I'm saying to you is that you're finding the common ground with these people, though, is that they don't know what they're doing. They don't understand the plan. What is the plan?
Yeah, and I've been disappointed since
they're trying to figure out what is the plan here, folks. Tell us, and make sense of it all. Not a lot makes sense. So hopefully we're going to get some sense out of this.
Yeah, and so we'll see what Mick Abel does for them. And again,
I'm anxious to see it because I do not want him. I do not want Mick Abel moved. Like I want him to have a good series of starts to see a real good sense of what he's got.
Or you'll get.
I'm talking like 6 starts.
You'll probably get around that.
Yeah,
right?
Get around 6. Like I need around 6 starts to be able to say, okay, I've seen what he could be let's go. Because his AAA starts have been, it's clear it's not a challenge anymore.
Yeah, he's ready for the
Or
big
he's
league.
shown where he's at. He's ready for the next challenge. So we'll see what happens.
I just, I don't have that attachment with Mick Abel right now. Right? Like, I'm just happy he's up because he deserves to be up. But
I don't have the attachment to him yet.
If it's for a win-now player?
I have the attachment to controllable starting pitching. And I am not flipping. If he comes out and puts together 3 or 4 more starts that are not necessarily where he outduels Paul Skeens,
Right.
but where he is a really solid starting pitcher, hell no. Am I getting a rental player for him? No. Or a fourth outfielder type for him?
No. If you're trading him, I'm
What would I be trading? Can
I'm
you give
getting
me
a
something?
starting center fielder, right? Like I'm getting somebody
Yeah, but I'm not getting somebody who is like, what's his name from Baltimore?
Cedric Mullins.
Cedric Mullins, who is on an expiring contract.
Right.
No.
No, it'd have to be somebody that you have control.
No chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
No chance.
The control
What
is
if there's a bullpen
as-
arm in there, too?
No. I got a guy who I could have under my control for 7 seasons as a starting pitcher.
Yeah, but who cares about 7 years from now? This team has to win now with
7
this
years.
core.
No, because I have to know. I'm running an organization. I'm not running an organization for the next 4 months. I'm running an organization, and the number one thing that's going to allow me to know that I'm in the mix is knowing that I'm there. Is that
If
I've
you're
got control of
Dombrowski and you're not taking any calls on Aiden Miller, you're not taking any calls on Painter, who are you going to give up to get it? You have to give something up.
Then Ranger goes.
But a
Ranger
team
can
needs-
get you a bullpen arm.
But
because
that team needs to be in need of a starter because
Right.
he's
There
also
will
on that
be-
expiring
There
contract.
will be plenty of teams that are looking for starting pitching help that are in contention for a wild card. And many of them will have better bullpens considering the Phillies have the 26th bullpen.
Okay, so
there are
you
many
deal-
of them
Yeah.
that you could get a bullpen arm. You could get a bullpen arm from them for a spare starter from
And
them.
how you getting that center fielder?
Center fielder, I don't know how you're doing that, but you're doing it with a prospects. You're going your prospect route.
Look, again,
No,
I
want
keep on
Crawford
saying
up
it.
here. I want him to be I want him to
Well,
get
you
a
want
chance.
you want your cake and you want it to eat it too.
No, you've got him. You don't. It's not a cake and eat it too. Get him up here.
I mean,
He should be up here. They don't understand. They literally do a prospects report on MLB Network.
Yeah,
they
and
do not.
they don't understand
they
why he's
sit
not
there
up.
and they do not understand why he's not up. His splits are great. He's done every single thing you can ask for, and they absolutely say he is a better defensive player than Brandon Marsh.
Yes.
So they do not understand what is going on. Why is he not up?
See, you're Johnny Prospect.
Like, why is he not up here? He's better.
Now here's the Abel thing, and we kind of touched on this last week. If you do trade Abel, I feel like you have to extend Suarez. So here's your rotation right now.
You'd have to.
For like moving forward. Wheeler, obviously. Nola's not going anywhere. Luzardo, you have one more year of after this season, so you could pay him too. Painter and Sanchez. Sanchez already under, they already extended him. So that's 5. So you have Suarez and Abel as 2 movable pieces. Like, there is a legitimate shot that Abel gets moved because they go, he's not going to do much for us because of who we already have here, so let's try to get the most out of him. And the most out of him could be via a trade. Like, that is a possibility.
It could be, sure.
Because Noel's not, let's face it, Noel's not going anywhere.
Nobody would take that contract.
Right, Noel's not going anywhere. So you have Wheeler, Nola, Luzardo, Painter, Sanchez. Like, Abel might not be a part of their future plans. Right?
If he's not, that's craziness.
It's like the Starling Caba guy, right? Like, where are you
but he's not. If he comes up here and he shows what he's about, like the next 3 or 4 starts, he shows what he's about, and he's not part of their plans.
And why is he up right now?
What I'm saying is,
because Nola's on the IL.
Well, no, but if he's not part of their plans and he shows what he's doing, then that's malpractice. That's craziness. Because Ranger Suarez is leaving town.
Yeah, Suarez might not be a part of their plans either.
No, but Ranger's leaving
you got 5
town.
guys: Wheeler, Nola, Luzardo, Painter, Sanchez.
Like, part of the plan of prospects sometimes is trading them away to get somebody to help you win now. Like, that is part of the plan. It's just not here long
you're not
term.
You're not trading for another starter.
Part of the plan is usually, though, when you've got top starting pitching prospects, is not to trade them. Is they're the guys you keep. You trade away lower prospects.
Yeah, and then we're going to be saying, why isn't he up yet? And it's going to be because of Aaron Nola.
It's unbelievable.
Right, that's kind of where it's one of those.
Pencil Nola in as 5 going forward.
Okay.
And then you need 4 more. So
it's
next year.
Wheeler, Painter, Luzardo, Sanchez, Nola, whatever order you want.
Then that's it. Then that's it. Then
and
you
so
got
then
it.
Abel's out.
No, is that because we're gonna get Suarez out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Get him out of Dodge. And now with Luzardo, you don't know because you don't know what he's going to be. They might deal him with 1 year left to go.
Who knows? Well, if they're, I don't know if they're going to do that.
You don't know if they're going to or not.
All right, coming up next, we got the Key 3. We'll get some text messages in as well. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Connor Thomas.
What this is with all of the things with.
little aggravating.
You know,
Gotta
it's
tell you.
amazing. A little aggravating. The Eagles won 4 months ago.
The Eagles are just joyous.
Oh, I got a text message about the Eagles from you guys, and it's terrible.
What do you mean?
Let me get it up for you guys, because this guy is just... I couldn't believe this was a real text message.
Okay.
It's that bad. Let's see. Would you guys please stop saying the Eagles won the freaking Super Bowl? You just ran it down our throats. Who cares? It's over. Let me tell you something else. We were lucky we didn't have to play the Lions, and I'm a Lions. I'm a lifelong Eagles fan, but I'm sick and tired about them winning the championship.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, I feel comfortable saying this. Don't watch an Eagles game ever again. Like, if that's your mentality,
That's so stupid.
don't ever watch an Eagles game.
I
again
couldn't
in your
believe I
life.
read that. I was just like, what?
It's not real.
Part of me thinks that they're not an Eagles fan.
That's not real.
And that they're a
That's not
Lions
real.
fan. And
That's
they're
not real.
And they're just trying to,
Correct.
hide behind the. But I'm actually an Eagles fan.
It's Danny. His name's Danny. He
Danny,
did put it on
that's
it.
not
Danny,
real.
I'm sorry. If you are indeed an Eagles fan, do not ever watch a game again.
No, it's not real. He's not an Eagles fan. No Eagles fan is saying that. That's not real.
It's disgusting.
More importantly, not real.
My God.
Like, when did we get so spoiled that we can't celebrate this Super Bowl
That is
championship?
not real.
Yeah, that can't.
That's not real. There's no way that's real.
Text in all season long.
Nobody's
I'll tell you
feeling
that.
it. Nobody is
It's not a
feeling
first-time texter trolling us.
Oh my.
Nobody's
God.
feeling like
That's
this.
nuts, dude.
Come on, for God's sakes.
I can't get enough of these Rockies stats.
Okay.
Here's one from a guy named Noah, who doesn't cut. He just put it out.
That would have
It's
been
just
Olivia's name.
It's on Twitter.
If she had been a boy, that would have been.
Rocky starter Antonio Senzatella. He is 1-10 on the season. The Rockies have 9 wins. He has double-digit losses before his team has double-digit wins.
Oh, my gosh.
It's just such an embarrassment to the sport of baseball. I can't believe it. All right, what do we got in the text line? Sneak in a couple more here before we get to the key 3.
All right, we got somebody checking in about the Phils, a long one here. He says, I will always root for my Philadelphia teams. The 2025 Phillies roster has the ability to be a great team, win a World Series, but it's a very flawed lineup. That Brewer series was a tough watch. They looked lifeless without Harper. If Harper is healthy and Schwarber's injured, does the lineup look inept as it did this weekend? Turner also needs to get out of the infield, put him in the outfield. GM Bryce Harper has to make the call. He has to let Dave Dombrowski know or Rob.
Again, I don't the Trey Turner outfield thing, I'm not ready to just throw him out there. I don't know what his arm's like. I mean, we complain about his fielding at shortstop. I'd rather him go to second before he goes to the outfield. If Kyle Schwarber's not in the lineup, this team's in trouble. I understand what he's trying to say.
Schwarber's the one you can't be without.
I understand what he's trying to say about, like, the life. Like Bryce Harper might be the life, like the energy or whatever, but Kyle Schwarber's, like, it would be bad if Schwarber was not in the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way you can live without Schwarber. You can't. You just can't. No other option.
Yeah. Look, they missed Harper this weekend. They absolutely did. They would also really miss Schwarber if he ever missed some time. All right, what else we got?
We got Vinny and Delco checking in saying, hey, Andrew and John, we were tailgating once at a 9-0 game in the first inning. We didn't even bother to go into the game. Went to Xfinity Live instead, and in true Delco fashion, they ended up at Lou Turk's.
Oh,
they ended up at Lou Turk's. They must have went to Ridley. Might have been to Ridley. Maybe Strathaven.
Yeah,
maybe Strathaven.
All right, that's another thing.
What?
Let's say you're in that position. You're having a good time. You're at the tailgate, right? Do you even go into the game? It's 9-0 in the first inning. You bought tickets. Do you even go in?
Don't the Phillies clear out the tailgate lot at a certain point?
No, people watch the game.
I've been out there for a couple of
I thought they
innings.
required you to stop the tailgates at the third inning.
M-Lot is its own entity, right? So if you,
I didn't know.
If you're in the Phillies, if you're a part of the Citizens Bank Park parking lots, you're not even allowed to tailgate.
Oh yeah, there's no tailgate.
There's no tailgate. That's why people go to the M-Lot. They set up the TVs. They'll listen to the radio. Yeah, they'll be there all day. That you're allowed. Jetro, you can do whatever the hell you can do whatever you want.
Once you turn 10, you can do whatever you want in Jetro.
Yeah, Jetro lot's just it's lawlessness out there in the Jetro lot. Yeah, so would you go to the game? You bought tickets. Would you even go in? You're there.
Yeah, I'd go in.
Even though they're down 9-0.
Yeah, I'm not leaving that early. I'm going to go in. Yes, I'm going to go in.
Depends if I ate or not at the tailgate, to be honest. Like, if I need food, I'm going to go in, get a hot dog, Bull's barbecue or something.
If you're having a tailgate, you're not eating at the tailgate?
Listen, man, like sometimes the calories are the beers.
Yeah, dude, sometimes the tailgate does not have food.
Wow.
Sometimes my tailgate is just
like
a 30
I feel
pack.
like we're getting to the age now where we're going to responsible tailgates,
Yes.
right? Like where people are going to have a barbecue. For a long time, a tailgate was showing up with a 30-pack.
You're going like a Delco special.
Yes.
You're pulling into the AM PM and just grabbing the 30-pack.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Temple tailgates back in the day, you just found anything that you could get your hands on.
Exactly.
And then sometimes you went to the free student hamburger thing that they had.
Okay.
Sometimes, unless the party was good. All right, it is time now for the Kincade Salciunas Key 3 best minutes from today's show.
Now, the Kincade Salciunas Key 3, today's best.
May 28th, they woke up the best team in baseball and in first place by 3 games. They wake up today in second place and not the best team in baseball.
Yeah, they're now game back in the Mets after getting swept by the Brewers. Obviously, they lost the final game of that series with the Braves. So 4 straight losses for the Fightins. I saw a tweet from Matt Gelb over the weekend. That's the first time the Phillies have lost 4 straight at Citizens Bank Park since 2022. You mentioned the stat just last week.
70-30?
70-30 in 100 games at home at Citizens Bank Park. And then right after you give that stat, they follow up with 4 straight losses at home for the first time since 2022. That's why baseball is a beautiful sport. That's
that
why
beautiful?
Sports are, oh, yeah, man, it is.
That's beautiful?
Yeah, exactly.
You and I have different opinions on beautiful.
Look, I have lineup concerns, right? You know how I feel about the lineup, and I think Dave Dombrowski better get off his rear end this trade deadline and not make the mistakes he made last year.
Are you a believer after the last 2 years trade deadlines that he's going to?
Man, if he watched this weekend, he better.
Are you a believer after the last 2 trade deadlines that he's all of a sudden going to be bold and aggressive?
Not necessarily.
See, this is where these people are coming from.
And that's concerning. Yeah, it's concerning.
Exactly.
And we got to get to the Eagles news from this past Friday when they made the move to trade Bryce Huff to the San Francisco 49ers. Obviously, Robert Saleh, once again, the defensive coordinator in San Francisco, and he had his success with Saleh in New York. Got a decent contract, and the Eagles were like, yeah, this guy's not part of our plans. Let's just move on. The question is, can other teams in Philly do that, or why don't other teams in Philly do that? Now, it is different. Each sport's a little bit different, right? Like,
well, in the NBA, it's much tougher. When you make a mistake, it can saddle you forever.
Right. And in baseball, like Trey Turner, the 10-year contract. Not that I'm not looking to move on from Trey Turner, right? Like, if somebody asked me today, would you move on from Trey Turner? I don't know.
Like, you honestly wouldn't? If someone was willing to take Trey Turner's contract for the Phillies.
Just the contract. They're just saying here.
No, you're willing to take. Someone's willing.
Because you're not getting anything for him.
No, you'd get something for Trey Turner. He's been much better at the plate this year.
If you're dying to move on from him, why would somebody give you something that you want?
No, you're not going to get.
Look how quick you were to be like, you wouldn't get rid of him.
You seriously would not take his contract off the books? It would absolutely open up the entire chessboard.
And they don't want to hear the when he's healthy thing, but. The question is, are you going to just give up Joel Embiid just to get out of it? There's some people that might.
Could I? I would in a second.
So you're just...
I'm not believing in the pipe dream. I'm not believing in this.
Right, but again, in the NBA, you have to make the salaries work.
No, but I mean, if there's a way, absolutely. If there's a way...
You would do it today if there was a way.
Today. And the Paul George thing yesterday.
Well, yeah, I know.
Yesterday. By the way, I saw yesterday, I was at the supermarket. You could win a virtual meet and greet with Paul George. Like, it has to be virtual because you never know when he's going to show up.
On the podcast.
It was like, you can win a virtual meet and greet with Paul George. Look at it, that's what we're at with kids now.
And I asked the question, why is there so much doubts around this Phillies team? And that is the Kincade Salciunas Key 3 best minutes from today's show. Real quick, I want to congratulate someone, Johnny.
What's that?
My father is probably on the clock. I'd imagine it's almost 10 o'clock for the last time.
That is so awesome.
My dad officially retiring from the full-time working field. He's got a couple gigs lined up. He's working already tomorrow.
Like, so he's still got stuff on the side.
Yeah, but, 40-plus years in the business world. He is officially retiring. This was his last weekend of knowing he's the Monday scaries, right?
I was going to say, he's a hard worker if he's showing up on a Monday for his last day.
Well, You work one
Why
day.
did he do it this way?
You work one day in the month, you get insurance cover for the month,
Oh,
That's a smart man as well.
move.
So congratulations to my dad. He
That is great news.
worked his ass off for a long, long time, and I'm
That is great.
very proud to be able to call myself his son. And he's got some part-time gigs lined up already. One on the island in Brigantine, which is really cool, and then he's got some stuff going on in AC too. But yeah, I'm really
What a
happy.
happy
for him.
occasion.
Yeah, it was
That is fantastic.
It was a nice weekend because some of my buddies he's known since 3rd grade. So
Is
we
he
all,
emotional about it?
when he first told me, he was a little bit, but he's also like, I think it's more so the age thing. Like I'm retiring, so, but like he's happy to be done.
I mean, my gosh.
Like he's thrilled.
Yeah, I mean, it's great.
So he's gonna golf.
And your dad is not. If you don't know Andrew's father.
Yeah, no, he's.
But we were just out with him a few weeks ago.
Full of life.
You would not. He's full of life.
Yeah, full of life.
So that's the way to retire.
Yes,
if you can.
Yeah.
Don't retire when you are broken down. Retire when you still are full of life, if you can.
Yeah, especially because you need to take care of your grandkid.
What a selfish SOB you are.
Well, I mean, he's got more free time on his hands. He's
by the way-
got some more time to watch his grandson.
By the way, do you realize I didn't realize this till I just read something here? You are experiencing something in 2025 that you've never experienced in your entire lives. What? It is we have been these are the coolest months. 4 of the 6 months
Very noticeable.
have been like the coolest
noticeable.
months. And by the way, we are now supposed to set another coolest month coming up.
So yesterday,
Another cool month. This is going to be one of the coolest months you guys have ever seen in your entire lives. So if you guys say, man, I never remember it being this cool,
It's never going to be hitting season.
you guys absolutely
That's
can
right.
say, you've never seen it this cool because this is uncharacteristically crazy cool.
yeah, yesterday, I drove up from Brigantine in the morning. I got out of the car thinking it was good because usually it's cooler down the shore, right? It was colder at my house. It was like 3 degrees difference, but it was cooler at my house than it was down the shore.
4 of the last 6 months have been colder than average, and that hasn't happened in a long time. And now we're heading towards 5 of 7 months because they're projecting that this month is also going to be cooler than average.
How about that?
We are on a cooling trend. So you guys you can honestly say it now.
I've never felt it this cold before in my life.
I never remember it being this cold. Man, I want to see the people at the shore, though, thrive.
I'll be honest, man. It was nice to have all that
It was
space.
nice, though.
If we were running routes,
So
we
it's
had-
nice.
we had plenty of room. It was nice.
Hey, H&H Heating and Air Conditioning will make sure that if you put your heater on, you're freaks. But they're going to make sure your air conditioner is ready to go when you need it. They made a donation to the American Association for Cancer Research. The Hoax always do that. You should too. Go to 975thefanatic.com/AACR. I'm living proof 3 times over that cancer research saves lives.
All right, everybody have a great rest of your day. The Mike Missanelli Show comes right next with Bill and Ray. We'll be back at it tomorrow on a Tuesday here on 97.5.